It's Deep Ellum on air, serving the DFW Metroplex. Only the best in underground and local music.
'Cause me and music are one. You know, music is like my best friend.
Deep Ellum on air.
HireAHero.org presents VMS, the Pugs Moran Show, heard each and every Monday through Friday, noon-ish. Thank you to who I assume will be my new arch nemesis in life, Charter Cable. We're going to blame this on Charter Cable, this late start.
Yes, we are.
Those of
Charter.
you who know me know that I rant and rave about the shortcomings of Time Warner Cable. Well, I'm about to get a taste of Charter Cable, see if that's any better. And so far, not so good. We have a Charter Cable internet connection here, don't we?
Yes.
And it's really crappy.
It's awful.
Look, folks, here's all if you can get satellite, they used to pay me to endorse satellite. And I just need you to know, they ain't paying me now. Fact of the matter is that the only people that have cable are people who have no other choice but to get cable. And because of that, they know you're stuck. Live in a certain area, you don't get to choose from a multitude of cable companies. No, there's one cable company that serves that area. I'm telling you, I would buy a house based on schools and what cable serves that neighborhood. Think I'm crazy? I've had it with Time Warner. And I know that you've got Charter Cable, and you don't like Charter any better.
No. And I had Time Warner back at the Studio Uno, and I thought they were great. Now, I will say this, their customer service sucks.
Ugh.
So if you do have a problem with them, good luck. Now, with Charter, though, it's the complete opposite. Horrible internet, great customer service. Like, we got a technician coming today between 3 to 5. Good luck getting Time Warner to do that.
Horrible service, but good customer service.
Yes.
Okay.
I will say that.
So what they are selling you sucks, but they're very apologetic for it.
Yeah.
All right, that's something. What Time Warner gives sucks, and they could give a rat's ass if you're dissatisfied. Time Warner, case in point, Time Warner Cable, when you call for an install, say, hey, Time Warner, I'm hearing nothing but great things about you. Why don't you come out and install it in my house? Time Warner will say, that'll be 10 days.
Right.
Charter Cable was 1 day. We'll be out there tomorrow, which is very nice. Very nice. All right, welcome to the show, folks. We like to start off with a look at what's going on the Facebook page. I usually post up at the start of the show. Topics. Tell me what y'all want to talk about. But first, I want to revisit something that we did yesterday. And that was, by the way, a lot of people, and you mentioned this yourself, a lot of people got turned on to Die Antwood.
Yes, but we can never play Die Antwood again.
Oh, no. Why not?
Man, I uploaded the video. Normally, whenever we upload and there's copyright, it will, there's levels that it will go. It immediately went to the highest level of no.
DEFCON 1?
Yeah, man. So I had to actually delete the video. There was no dispute. They were like, nah. Basically what they did is they not only did they block the video, but they wouldn't let me upload another. I couldn't upload the Reggae Roots show until we took down yesterday's show.
Here's what I don't get. It's a partnership. We turned a bunch of people on based on your responses and mine. We turned a bunch of people on to a band they had never heard of. Fans that will now go out and see them. Fans that will go out and buy and legally download or whatever the hell it is they're going to do. But we are being punished for that.
Yeah.
For introducing new people. See, this is stupid. Do you know that that's what radio was? That's why radio started playing music on the radio. It wasn't to entertain people. It was a commercial. When a song was played on the radio back in the early days, it was a commercial for the album that was coming out. You would play this song. I mean, that's all commercial radio. Well, that's why it's called commercial radio. It's not because of the commercials that are in between songs. The songs themselves were actually commercials. You're using them to promote something. It's partnership. Program director gets a little payola. So I don't know, it should be fair use. They should let us promote the damn band.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I've popped a lot of people's Die Antwoord cherry. And, for instance, Imagination Scientist, he texted me this morning and saw that a lot of people were now, into it. And he's a really good example. He saw Die Antwoord because of an old show we did on here, Deep Ellum on Air, and he's such a fan. He drove all the way to Austin to go see him when they came. Him and his wife.
All right. Hey.
Here,
I wanted to jump into this.
Which, hold on, by the way, I'm getting new software. Oh, actually, I already have the software. I'm being trained on this new software where I can remove those clips that are causing it. So the show will be back up soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we started the show by asking a simple question. Because of Die Antwoord, Jedi has a sexual attraction to that train wreck of a girl that's in the band. Yolandi. Train wreck. Watched her last night. Watched a bunch of YouTube stuff. I will give you that she's got a decent body from the neck down. But man, everything from the neck up is just squirrely as hell. But hey, to each his own. But because of that, I asked the question yesterday. I said, guys, who's the weirdest celebrity you've ever had the hots for?
I saw that people were commenting on that all day long.
Yeah, we got 82 responses. We only did like 10 of them, so I wanted to run through some of the ones that picked up.
Cool.
Guys, who is the weirdest celebrity you've ever had the hots for? Example, there was a time when I was hot for Bjork. And ladies, admit to me your weirdest celebrity crush. Example, my first ex-wife was really hot for Drew Carey. Okay, so we went through a bunch of them. Jeff Glenn said Wilma Flintstone. I think we touched on that one. Bill White said Martha Stewart. Rachel Marie said Vince Vaughn. That's not anything to be ashamed of, right? I know chicks that love Vince Vaughn.
I love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
I got the hots for him.
He's not,
It's the funny. It's the funniness.
A girl who tells me that she's attracted to Steve Buscemi. That's what I'm looking for. A girl that tells me she's attracted to William Dafoe.
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top. Yeah, something weird. But, there's no shame in finding Vince Vaughn attractive. He's a leading man movie star. My God. Let's see here. Leslie Britton, she likes Conan O'Brien. She likes Patton Oswalt and Brian Posehn. Brian Posehn is a great one because that dude is messed up looking. Yet she finds him attractive. Good for her. Sarah Hutchins, here's a good one. This is another one that I know a lot of women like this guy. This guy turned into a sex symbol because of it. Sarah says James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. I know more hot chicks that thought Tony Soprano was so hot just because of that power thing, because of how strong he was and how take no shit he was. Did you ever see The Sopranos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know with you, because, you're a wild card.
That was right when I unplugged myself from the TV right when that was wrapping up, when Weeds was I used to watch Weeds a lot and Californication. Remember that one?
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. I love Californication. Hank Moody is one of my all-time favorite
Is that show still
characters.
on?
Yeah.
It is?
Just finished its 7th season.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Becca, the daughter?
Yeah.
Becca has left for Europe to find herself as a writer and to become her own writer because she's now college age. And her boyfriend in the show is our old friend from the old Pugs and Kelly show, Dustin Ibarra. You know who Dustin Ibarra is? Mm-mm. Dustin Ibarra is a kid that we discovered at one of our talent contests. He came up and did stand-up comedy. He was really good, like a total natural. And then 6 months later, he's got an MTV contract. He's doing an MTV show. He was in a movie with, does movies with Adam Sandler. He was in that
nice.
We Bought a Zoo movie with Scarlett Johansson and Matt Damon. And now he's on Californication as Becca's dirtbag boyfriend that Hank can't stand.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I only saw season 1 of Californication.
That show's greatness.
And then that's when I stopped watching TV.
Hank Moody is awesome. I would love to live that guy's life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already got shit completely turned upside down and out of control. But at least if I was Hank Moody, he seems comfortable with the chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a writer. His life has to be chaos for him to create these stories. I love Californication. A lot of people say that show is terrible now. that it's fallen down the last couple of seasons. No way. I think it's better. I think it's gotten better every season.
See, I know you think it's weird that I don't watch TV, but see, think about what now I look forward to. I now can go download all those seasons of Californication, and I can watch them at my leisure. Now I have to wait
but I can
for the
do
next
that.
episode.
But see, I can do that too, and I don't have to sit here and have someone who's already seen it tell me how good it is. I can be ahead of the curve. Hey, I got a big screen TV in my trunk sitting in the driveway right now. You're about to have TV in the next couple hours.
Yeah, I've been watching TV from a computer screen for the last 4 years.
You know what we're doing tonight? You know what we're doing tonight? Because tonight is my first night here. You realize this, right?
Yeah.
I'm out of my place. Tonight we're all going to sit around and we're going to watch Modern Family. That's right. What do you mean no? What do you people know? The best fucking sitcom on TV? And you people are like, no, I won't watch that. That show is brilliant.
Shouldn't I at least go back and watch like season 1 or something?
No, it's balls funny. Just watch a bunch of gay guys running around. It's funny. Show's funny. Show's awesome.
See, I don't like sitcoms though.
No, I don't either. You're getting the wrong impression. I don't either. Sitcoms suck. There's like 4 or 5 sitcoms that are decent. Modern Family and Community are probably the 2 best on TV right now.
All right, stop right there. Because I tried to watch, because you said that. I go try to watch an episode. I couldn't get through episode 1. It was horrible.
Yeah, dumb people don't like it.
Horrible. Yeah, dumb people. It was horrible. I watched like 15 minutes. That's one with Joe McHale, right? I just didn't get it.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, you have to understand there's a lot going on Community. Like every single episode is sort of like an analogy or a parody of a film that's going on. So part of the fun of watching that is getting about 5 to 7 minutes in and going, oh my God, they're doing Breakfast Club. That's what they're doing. This is about breakfast. Everything. It's brilliant. The show is on. It's a next level show. There's so much smart shit going on. Come on. Yeah. Seriously, you gotta watch the tape. You gotta watch. You tried.
I did. I tried.
No, you didn't try.
For your sake, I tried.
Well, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Because I thought you were cool, and that is a cool people sitcom.
No, dude. If you thought I was cool, you definitely thought wrong.
Yeah, I guess so. And you know what? That is the coolest response someone could have to that question. Tell me what shows you do. Okay, so you're going to have TV. What are you? Game of Thrones is back on. What are you interested in watching? We're going to have Game of Thrones Sunday night dinner parties?
I would like to watch
food and watch
CNN.
Game of Thrones?
I like CNN. I like the History Channel. I like seeing about, I love documentaries and that kind of thing. Game of Thrones, we got... Weeds isn't still on anymore, is it?
No.
Oh, it is?
No.
No?
Weeds have been over for about 2 years.
Oh, okay. So we got Breaking Bad.
You can catch up on all the Weeds.
We got Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I don't watch Breaking Bad.
No?
No. I've tried. Not into it.
Really?
I recognize it's a good show, but I have way too many shows, and Breaking Bad was on Sunday nights, I think. And I couldn't fit it in. There was no way I could fit it in. And now I'm like 4 seasons behind. Look, I recognize Breaking Bad is a great show. Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, and Mad Men.
Ooh, Walking Dead, yes.
Are 3 shows that I recognize are great shows. Everyone says they're good. I just don't have room.
Listen, if you're not watching Walking Dead, you truly are. I don't like zombies. I don't like zombie movies. Not a fan of zombie movies at all. Walking Dead is ace.
See, I am a fan of zombie movies. They're one of my favorite subgenres.
Well, then, God, the fact that you're not watching is weird.
Well, because it just seems like there's this whole zombie craze that started up, and Walking Dead seems, look.
No, Walking Dead is zombies done right.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe I'll check it out. Look, look. I have TV every day, but I also have something good that slipped through the net that I can now watch to download and catch up on all the episodes. Yeah. Okay. So very important. CNN and ESPN are very important to have for news and information. Let's see here. Tonight. Wait. Look, I'm doing Modern Family, and one of you people are joining me by hook or by crook. One of you guys will be tied up. All right. Kat's gonna join me. You know what? And she'll like it. She'll like it. We'll laugh. Oh, it'll be fun. You'll hear us laughing. You'll get jealous. You'll come down. Yeah, we'll make popcorn. I don't know what else is on.
Dude, I know you think you're going to indoctrinate me into getting back on the couch, but I'm telling you, I'm just not interested. I'd rather I'd rather, like, if I'm going to watch something, I want to be learning from it. I want to be being educated in some level, even if it's only just a documentary about how scary South Africa is. Whatever.
Well, you said something that proves. Excuse me, I got to learn how to drink. I keep choking on these. You said that you will watch the History Channel because you like history.
Well,
you're shit out of luck there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Back when I had TV, the History Channel was the History Channel.
History Channel is an embarrassment. And if this is what we call history in America, we really are the morons that the rest of the world thinks we are. It's pawn shows. That's history. What qualifies as history now on the History Show is some dirtbag looking for crack money selling a guitar. And then they hold the guitar up and they go, this guitar was used in 1957. That's the history lesson. It's such bullshit. A&E, that's another one. Do you know what A&E stands for?
Yeah.
Arts and Entertainment. Do you know what that station was originally, that network was built for? Opera, classical music, ballet, all of that shit. Guess how long that stuff lasted? Just long enough to find out that all the people in America who claim they like that shit are lying posers because they weren't tuning in. They went to fucking addiction shows like that. Intervention. That's one. Have you ever seen Intervention?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You ever seen the Intervention where they go to bust the dude? They go to have an intervention with the kid in the trailer. He's a meth head, and he's living in the trailer, and his whole family shows up. So he invites them all into the front of the trailer, and he goes out the side window.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one.
It's the funniest episode of Intervention because the camera is in the trailer with the family, and they're all sitting patiently waiting for him. And then you see, because there's a camera pointed at like the grandma, and there's a field behind the grandma out the window, and you see the kid running across the field. He did not want to have an intervention for meth. Nah, TV's a good thing. You're going to like this. Movies. Have you seen any movies recently?
I do watch movies. That's what I do watch.
Okay. All right. Well,
but it depends. I'm picky on movies. I don't like a lot of stuff.
Well, there are a lot of the movie channels. We got free movie channels for the first 60 days or whatever the hell the deal was.
Dude, I got the internet. I got the ultimate free movie channel.
No, that's not the ultimate free movie channel. You've got 15 HBOs, 15 Showtimes, 15 Cinemaxes, 10 Stars. You've got 100 movie channels now.
I got all that.
There's going to be something on TV all the time. I'm going to ruin you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Then I'll ruin your girlfriend. I will ruin one of you.
We'll be hiking.
Hiking. Please. Well, you know what? Okay, maybe I'll do a little hiking. You do a little TV watching.
There you go.
Maybe we rub up on one another.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. That'll work. All right. Back to the people who you shouldn't be attracted to. Your weirdest crushes.
Again, another one of mine was Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire. Yes, that's a good one. And mine was Bjork. And I really couldn't think. Of any other ones through the years. Other than Sarah Bernhardt or Sandra Bernhard.
She's a lesbian, right?
Oh, yeah. And a really unattractive one. But for some reason, there was a time when I thought she was attractive. All right, Sarah, who just said James Gandolfini, and I complimented her for it, she completely messed up in the next one. Sarah also adds, her weirdest crush is Orlando Bloom.
What?
Wasn't he a former People Magazine sexiest man on the planet?
How is that weird? Like him.
How is that weird? Let's see here.
Dude, he was Laszlo's.
Who's that?
Lord of the Rings.
Nicholas Martinez says Helen Hunt and Martha Stewart. There's nothing wrong there. There ain't nothing wrong there. Martha Stewart was a babe. Martha Stewart still is a babe.
You said that yesterday, Martha Stewart.
Mm-hmm. But Helen Hunt. Why would that be a weird crush?
Yeah, that is weird.
Helen Hunt is weird?
Yeah, she ain't pretty.
Okay, she ain't pretty.
She's not
but
pretty
she's
at all.
Definitely not so unattractive that you couldn't see a guy falling in love with her.
Yeah, you can. Of all the people that you can be attracted to, pick Helen Hunt.
Her nose is slightly angular.
That's like saying Sigourney Weaver.
What's wrong with Sigourney Weaver? Now, look, Sigourney Weaver's a little before my time, but I do recognize that people about 10 years older than me probably thought she was hot. She was a sex symbol.
What about Jamie Lee Curtis?
Okay, this is a tricky one. Do you know the problem with Jamie Lee Curtis? Jamie Lee Curtis was a bombshell sex symbol chick for a period of time, okay? She did the Halloween movie as a teenager where she played the babysitter that was, being terrorized, I should say, by Michael Myers. Then she did a movie called Perfect, which was about the aerobics craze of the early 80s. And her and John Travolta, I think it was, she played an aerobics instructor, and she was smoking hot. Like unbelievable. Like 27-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis was like killer as this aerobics instructor in this movie about aerobics. But then he started hearing things about her. You know the story about Jamie Lee Curtis?
No.
You don't know the story about her? Mm-mm. Man, and I like her. Don't get me wrong, I like her. And I had the ball. She used to do a TV show with Richard Lewis. And we had Richard Lewis on the show once, on a show that I was producing. And I asked this question to Richard Lewis, who was really good friends with her. And he got really angry. He got really like no respect for me, nothing. Just. So apparently, Jamie Lee Curtis, her name is Jamie Lee. L-E-E, Jamie. Those are two very unisex names. Because when she was born, they didn't know if she was going to be a boy or a girl. She had like incomplete parts.
Oh, she was like hermaphrodite?
Yep. And the family kind of had to make a decision. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, her movie star parents. And I guess the story goes that they took some time with it. And they had to put a name on the birth certificate, so they put a name that would work for both a boy and a girl. Now, and there are other things. People have struck that down. People have said that's absolute bullshit. Richard Lewis said it was absolute bullshit. But, the story lives on. And I guess it was a common practice in the 1950s when she was born to sort of do that. I mean, I don't know. I think she's a hot woman. She also can't have children. Does that say something? Like she's not hot.
She adopted her daughter.
Wait a second. You're still on
Jamie
we're still
Curtis?
debating whether or not she's hot?
Yeah, she's not hot. Did you see that movie she did with Arnold Schwarzenegger? That was awful.
Yeah, I don't know. Was she like 40 at the time? I mean, I'm talking about 25-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis. She was a sex symbol. I'm going to Bing you some images. And yes, I said Bing you because I don't Google anymore. I fell for that Bing Google challenge, and Bing kicked Google's ass. So now I Bing everything. All right, we're going to pull up some Jamie. You pull up some Jamie Lee Curtis. We'll both do it. Jamie Lee Curtis.
What are we, images?
Oh, look at this. Hey, one of the first one that comes up. Jamie Lee Curtis. Gender? Gender questions. Yeah, you pull up pictures of her, okay? And I'm going to pull up the gender question.
Right, so there's Jamie Lee Curtis hot, I guess, in Heat or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's not. No, man.
That's like 1980s.
She's got Sarah Jessica Parker face.
No.
Talk about horse face. Look at that.
No.
Yeah, she's got
Not possible. Have you seen her mother and have you seen her father? Not possible. She's a very good-looking woman. She's very attractive. And you know what else she is? Jedi. And this is what's lost on you. She's also incredibly charming and likable. When she would give interviews, look at that.
All right, so she's hot in that.
She's hot in the picture from Perfect, where she played the aerobics instructor. Her body was banging for a couple of years in the 80s. Come on, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I could see how she could look like a guy, though.
Can't you?
Yeah, I could see she could go.
A little bit of she-male going on. Of course, this is all just horrific speculation. Nobody knows for sure. And really, I'm trying. All right, here, urbanlegends.com, okay? Jamie Lee Curtis, hermaphrodite. Let's see what this is about. Jamie Lee Curtis, hermaphrodite. Question. Dear Urban Legends, I've heard from a few places that Jamie Lee Curtis is genetically male. I know it is genetically possible for something like this to happen. Miss Curtis is the only famous person I've ever heard linked to this problem. Have you heard anything about this one? One of my best friends is convinced it's possible. All right, here's the answer. This according to urbanlegends.com. Urban Legend says, several years ago, a colleague who was married to a doctor told me that when her husband was in medical school, one of the professors brought up Jamie Lee Curtis as an example of someone who was born with an unusual chromosome structure. The story goes that she had at birth both female and male characteristics. I was unconvinced by this tale, but my colleague, not one to exaggerate, insisted that it was common knowledge in the medical community. Have you heard this one? It is true, Jamie Lee Curtis... Wait, is it... Where are the answers? Okay, so, those were all questions. I'm sorry. I thought that was the answer. Here is the answer to those questions that readers have put forth regarding the gender of Jamie Lee Curtis. Dear readers, celebrities are always telling us that fame has its downsides, lurid gossip being one of them. Few could make a better case than actress Jamie Lee Curtis, who for 2 decades has been saddled with rumors that she was a hermaphrodite at birth, or, as it has been more crudely put, born with a penis. Hey, that's our new punk band. Born with a penis. It'll be awesome. All chicks, though. All chick punk band. This has never been proven, mind you, but most folks seem satisfied with the argument that the info was passed along by a friend of a friend who happens to know a doctor who told about it in medical school. So it has to be true. If that doesn't convince, they may point out that Curtis adopted her 2 children instead of conceiving. I did that one. Oh, and that she has a unisex first name. Well, she does. I mean, she does. Those are all true. And when you compound those with the, this is me talking, not the article. When you compound those with the rumors, it all kind of like seems like maybe. And then you even said it yourself. You looked at a picture of her and you said, I could totally see her kind of looking like a guy. Yeah. It's got a bit of a shim look to her. But I think she's hot. Don't get me wrong. I did think she was. I think she's a wonder. I think, you know what? I like Jamie Lee Curtis. If you've ever seen her be interviewed, if you've ever seen her, she is wonderful.
We're not talking about if she's a good person or not. We're just talking about weird people that it'd be strange that you think they're hot. And that, I think, is on the list. If you think she's hot, you're weird, bro.
I think she was hot.
That's weird.
I think there was a window where she was hot. And I remember that because I was a kid. The word hermaphrodite comes from hermaphroditus, the name given to the son of an ancient Greek god, Hermes and Aphrodite. According to mythology, Hermaphroditus was so loved by the nymph Salmacius that she prayed they could be united as one person and literally got her wish. The 2 were transformed into one being who was both male and female.
Ooh. Do you think it looks like, you know, in the Circus Freaks where you got the half woman, half man, where the half side has got a beard?
Yeah, like in the circus?
Yeah, the other half's got the long hair.
Yeah, why not? If you're both, why not just go for broke with both sides? Right. The specific condition most often attributed to Jamie Lee Curtis is AIS, or androgen insensitivity syndrome. People born with AIS are genetically male, defined as having 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. But are resistant to... why Jamie Lee Curtis? It bears pointing out that Miss Curtis was neither the first nor the last female celebrity to whom gender ambiguity had been attributed. I didn't know that. Okay, so apparently there were ones before. Marlene Dietrich, Greta Garbo, and Mae West endured similar whispers during their respective heydays. According to Paul Young, author of LA Exposed, Strange Myths and Curious Legends in the City of Angels, so did 80s disco star Grace Jones. Yeah, I kind of remember that. I kind of remember people saying Grace Jones was a guy. And more recently, pop music divas Ciara and Lady Gaga. Yeah, I've heard people say Lady Gaga's a half dude.
Yeah.
You always see like those pictures of her where she's got her legs spread. People go, look, I see balls. You know? No. Okay, all right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You don't think, I have seen, have you ever seen, okay,
yeah,
Lady Gaga's weird. Okay, she's got the whole weird thing going on, right? But sometimes, and that's her daily life. Her daily life is to dress as shocking as possible. So really where we're at now, when she really wants to shock, she takes all of that off and she gets glammed up like a 50s movie star. Have you ever seen her look like that?
Yeah, but that's fake. You just said it, glammed up. That's fake.
But the other stuff
Anyone
is fake.
Can
the
look
blue
like
hair,
that.
the blue hair and the meat dress, that's all fake. I mean, she is constantly playing with her image, and I will tell you, she is not an ugly woman. There are. Oh yes.
I've seen pictures where she's like, because I remember I didn't know who she was for a long time, and so I googled imaged her, and there were somewhere she's like coming out of a hotel room or something, and she looked awful.
Probably with like a baseball cap and no makeup, and come on, give her right now.
She looked like a crackhead.
There were pictures. I'll find pictures of her, glammed up Lady Gaga, and you'll be like, oh my God, she looks good.
Yeah, but that's glammed. It's fake. Anyone can make someone look like that.
But what's fake?
That's like
okay. All right.
Here's
so
a good example.
You want a picture of her doing laundry where she looks attractive? That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, because here's a good.
Well, she doesn't do her own laundry.
Catherine doesn't wear any makeup and is beautiful,
Kat, your
naturally beautiful without any kind of makeup.
Yeah, very, very, very natural, very earthy, very.
Lady Gaga is fugly until she gets makeup on.
I disagree. Also, I'll give you another one now that I think about it, because I've said this online recently, and people have jumped down my throat. I'm kind of hot for Nicki Minaj. Thoughts? Oh, who you pulling up? Gaga?
Is that Lady Gaga right there? Because if you think that's hot, something is wrong with you.
Well, I think that's a bad picture of her. I think that she is doing, I think she's making a face. I think that she has, come on, she's not trying to look good there. All women try to look good. And I'm just saying.
She's got that weird European look, man. Like a
Lady Gaga, what, that European Brooklyn look? That's where she's from. She's from Brooklyn. I mean, European.
Oh, she's from Brooklyn?
Yeah. Where'd you think she was from?
I thought she was like Norwegian or something.
She's in New York.
That's what she looks like.
No, see, you don't know. You haven't seen the pictures. You don't even know where she's from.
Honestly, I thought she was European.
You need to table this. She gets glammed up and she looks really good. Sometimes. I'm like, now I'm defending her. Look, I know she's weird. I'm just... so Nicki Minaj. What do you think of Nicki Minaj? We're talking about people we're attracted to that's... by the
I
way,
don't really know what she looks like offhand. Let me think.
We're done with Jamie Lee Curtis. There was no answer to it. It's a rumor.
Oh,
They
this
don't
chick. Yeah, she's hot. Yeah, she's like a Lil Kim back in the day. Remember Lil Kim?
Yeah.
Have you seen Lil Kim now?
But I asked you specifically, let's stay on point here. I asked you specifically about Nicki Minaj because you just said that I don't like her butt. Her butt's too big. I don't like the big ghetto.
I like it.
You do?
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
don't. I like a tight little ass. Nice little. Anyway, I said Nicki Minaj because you said that one of the things that you need is for them to look natural. Nicki Minaj is more made up than Lady Gaga. Look at that pink hair. She's caked on makeup, gigantic eyelashes, huge nails.
That ain't fake.
What do you mean that ain't fake? You think her nails are naturally like that? You think her hair is that?
I was pointing to the
her
ass.
boobs?
Yeah, everything. Her body.
Yeah, she's got like big boobs and like a big butt. The big butt almost kills the boobs for me. At least that's how I feel.
But honestly, I don't think. She is hot. Like if I didn't know who she was, but I heard she's like a big bitch. So
well, here's the thing. I don't know who she is. I have no idea who she is. Here's what I know about Nicki Minaj. She's got a couple of songs that I tap my toe to. I know that she made a big stink over at the hotel at 35 and Mockingbird, or not 35 and Mockingbird, 75 and Mockingbird. Central. You know that new hotel there, Central and Mockingbird. It's like the Palomar or something. Real fancy. Used to be a real crappy, like, old folks home, and then they redid it and turned it into, like, 4-star.
Central and Mockingbird?
Central, right across the street from Mockingbird Station. On the corner. They're right on the corner.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where they have a fancy restaurant there.
Yeah, I think it's called Hotel Palomar.
Yeah.
Yeah, she created a big scene there and got arrested. I know that. But then I watched a couple of episodes of American Idol this year where she's the judge, one of the judges now. And it was the first time I got to see her personality, and I like Nicki Minaj. I like her personality. She's not a bitch. She seems very genuine. Weird. She's very weird. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't. See, Paula Abdul sucked. She was a bore. Nicki Minaj, you never know what's gonna happen there. Although I guess she didn't know what was going to happen with Paula Abdul. But after a couple of years, it became all so very predictable with Paula Abdul. Nicki Minaj, I like her. All right, back to the list. People you shouldn't be interested in, but are attracted to anyway. Someone else said Vince Vaughn. Prince. People talking about Prince. Anything wrong with Prince?
What?
Prince.
That's Prince.
That's kind of weird, though.
Yeah. Well, no. That's,
you know what? If that's a white girl from the suburbs saying that she's attracted to Prince, that's weird. But if it's, somebody that's in the soul scene or whatever, Prince was a pretty weird-looking dude back in the 80s. He was. I know, because I had friends that suddenly adopted a Prince look. It wasn't good. It was like, God damn, purple pants and poofy hair. The hell.
I heard I can't remember it, so I'm not going to try to say it, but I heard a really funny Prince story, and that he's actually a really cool guy. Once he's very he doesn't let anyone like come into his group, his entourage, but when he does, he's very cool.
Yeah, it might be. He's a Minnesota guy. He never went that whole Hollywood thing. He's just weird, I think. And if you can just...
Do you know why he did the whole the symbol name change thing?
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty cool story.
The same reason George Michaels did the same thing in a different way. But yeah, because he was tired of his record company marketing off of his name, and he wanted to legally change his name to a symbol that couldn't be spoken or marketed. So yeah,
awesome.
So that's why, yeah, it is awesome. And he took a lot of shit for that. And I remember at the time that he changed it into a symbol, going, "That is fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
this guy is brilliant." The record company is so pissed at him right now. Good for him. Speed Racer. Tim Smathers said Speed Racer. Larry Hutchinson. All right, he says Molly Shannon. That's an interesting one.
Speed Racer, the cartoon?
Yeah. Molly Shannon. What do you think of Molly Shannon?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Not terribly weird, though.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Yeah.
If she wasn't famous, like, because she's famous, she gets hotter. She gets extra points. But if she was just like the girl that lived next door, you'd do her.
I don't know, man.
Nah, maybe you wouldn't. Let me see here. Dirk. Tracy Gregg says Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, he's a weird-looking guy, that's for sure. But he's 7 foot tall, but he's also, a professional athlete. So chicks in this town like him. A lot of chicks in this town like Dirk. Lori Guthrie, thank you. Somebody finally posted up with Steve Buscemi. Now that's a weird one. If you're attracted to Steve Buscemi, that's weird. Like me being attracted to Bjork, that's weird. Like me being attracted to Sandra Bernhard, that's weird. Like Jedi being attracted to Mrs. Garrett from Facts of Life, that's weird. Seth Rogen. Melissa Crawford says Seth Rogen. Is that a weird one? I mean, he's not traditionally handsome. He's not like a leading man kind of dude.
Yeah, that's pretty weird, though.
Christy McNichol, my buddy Kevin, says Christy McNichols. Christy McNichol, nothing wrong with Christy McNichol back in the... Yeah, Buddy. She played Buddy. She's a lesbian, Christy McNichol. She's was never really into dudes. And it was kind of now in retrospect, it was really always kind of obvious. Because Christy McNichol... What's the matter with you putting a nice little Purple Rain?
Well, I think it's not the... I thought it was the...
I never meant to call you.
Hey. I think it's the actual song, though. Yeah.
I love me some Prince.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I would see Prince. I've seen Prince twice. I would see Prince 5 more times. That is a hell of a show. All right, Beverly D'Angelo.
I'm too afraid to play it, though. I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna get screwed
show. Yeah.
Beverly D'Angelo. What do you think of that?
I don't know who that is.
Beverly D'Angelo. You've never seen Christmas Vacation or Wally World with the Griswold? She's the mom.
Oh yeah, the mom's hot.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
You
Dude,
seen her
she has
lately?
that. Man, she has that shower scene where she got the boob action. You
seen
the
her
boobs?
lately?
No.
Yeah, that's a Bing search that. Bing image that.
That's a think about that. That movie wasn't rated R, but yet they showed her boobs.
Vacation?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Vacation was rated R.
Is it?
I think so. It's just it was so funny and everybody liked it that all kids ended up seeing it.
Okay, yeah.
Because parents were like, yeah, it's funny. You can handle it.
I guess it was.
Yeah, let's see here. Kevin Barber also says Mary Lou Henner. Mary Lou Henner, Mary Steenburgen, and Diane Sawyer. Diane Sawyer, fabulous world-class babe. She's like 70 years old. She is still really attractive. Mary Steenburgen was never attractive until she hit like 50. Now she's really attractive. You know who Mary Steenburgen is? You are useless. And Mary Lou Henner. How about Mary Lou Henner? She's adorable. That girl, Mary Lou, who doesn't like Mary Lou Henner? She's on that Celebrity Apprentice show that I watch. Hey, that's another thing. Sunday nights, we're going to watch Celebrity Apprentice in this house, too.
What?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Dude, listen.
Dude, there are going to be some new rules around here, and one of them is...
not watching Celebrity Apprentice. No way. That's where I will I will not watch that kind of garbage. No way. You can get me to watch Game of Thrones, any of these really cool, epic shows. But
Shark Tank?
I'm not watching any reality show.
Shark Tank?
No, I'm not watching
No,
any
now
reality
wait a
show.
second. Shark Tank is not negotiable. Shark Tank, you need to watch. You're a businessman. What the hell's wrong with you? You need to watch Shark Tank.
Oh, no, dude. I'll watch maybe one episode.
Dude, there's this Shark
listen.
Tank thing going on that we're trying to get involved in, and you're not even familiar with the show.
I'll tell you what. I will give you 3 reality shows that I will watch one time
Okay?
Only one time. I'll only give you one time. If I like it and I continue to watch it after that, that's one
man,
thing.
so I'm gonna have to pick
So,
really.
you get 3. So I would.
All right, these
pick
are gonna
them
have to be
wisely.
good ones.
Really, only gonna give you 1, but I'll give
No,
you
you're gonna
3.
give me 3 reality shows that we watch just once.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to get you into a Real Housewives show. I think
dude,
that one would be
don't.
awesome. Because you will fall victim the way every other guy does fall victim. You can't fucking help it, dude. You're sitting there with a girl because the girl wants to watch it, and you're just, all right, whatever, because the chicks are kind of hot, and you can watch them walk around. But then halfway through, you find yourself going, why did she say that? She's such a bitch. That chick is unbelievable. And before you know it, you are stuck. You are stuck. You fucking care. And it's horrible. It is the worst thing. I will keep you away from Bravo. I don't need to spread my Bravo addiction to any other guy. Kim Zolciak? Wait till you get a load of this broad. Oh, I got to introduce you to her. She's the host of the show Tardy to the Party on Bravo. She's this big, obnoxious, over the top, completely reprehensible representation of a female you have ever seen. And she's married to a pro football player. Coy something. Plays for Atlanta.
Dude, you better pick your 3 wisely, because if you're making me watch shit like that, I guarantee
all right.
you it's only gonna be 1 time.
Shark Tank is not going to be one of the picks because that's not a reality show. That's just a fascinating display of how businesses get started. You need to learn. You need to watch that.
We need to set our definition of a reality show then. Define reality show.
Let's take a break. I'll tell you, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hit the headlines, try and define what a reality show is. I'll find 3. Man, see, I'd love to get you into watching Full Throttle Saloon with me, but Full Throttle Saloon doesn't start up again for another couple of months. Maybe we should. How about Devil's Ride? You want to watch the Devil's Ride with me? It's about a biker gang in San Diego.
Oh, yeah. And that's a reality show?
Oh, yeah. It's two biker gangs, or it's one biker gang, the Laughing Devils. And they, in one of the early episodes, one of their top guys got kicked out, and he went and started another gang. And so now the reality show's about these 2 gangs trying to coexist in San Diego. And they both have the same colors. And, oh, that drives them nuts. Oh, they hate it. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back.
Hey, I also want to do my new segment today.
Oh,
Everything's Strange.
this is going to be awesome. There are some creepy-ass things going on. We're going to play some creepy-ass audio. We're going to talk about some creepy-ass things. It's a new segment that Jedi came up with called
Everything's Strange.
Everything Strange. And today, we're going to talk about the hum.
Yes.
Right?
Well, the earth noises. It's more than just hums.
The hum. It's just known as the
There's
hum.
hums and there's also booms. There's hums and booms. There's 2. There's 2 different.
I'm not worried about the boom. I'm worried about the hums.
Okay.
The hums
We'll get into it.
are scary as shit. We'll take a break. We'll come back. HireAHero.org presents PMS The Pugs Moran Show for a Wednesday afternoon here live in the studios of DeepElmOnAir.com.
Check 1, 2. Deep Ellum on air.
Right, you're on mute.
Deep Ellum on air.
It's time to really get our party on now.
windy tide in my hands.
Tell us what you want to hear. DeepElemOnAir.com.
8 months of clever deception. You really had me fooled. I should have tried paying more attention to the hazard signs. They were clues to the riddle of our separation. Warning, we are under construction. In 8 months there'll be self-destruction. Dry as proof. If I can't have it my way, then neither can you. And all I asked for was compromise. To go and gather some dirt beneath your nails, but that was too much, and we were set up to fail. Set up to you to look back on this. Our chapter's over and I've bent the pages over and over and over and over again. And now they're worn thin, like you're well. For 2/3 of the year I bit my lip till it was bloody, and I have nothing to show for it. To show for it. I let you have my music and you gave me this, and I'm so bitter. But chalk it up to youth and inexperience. It's hard to last if you don't take it serious. Love is a job, it's a work in progress, and you're gonna need a lot of practice. Never want you to look back on this. Our chapter's over and I've bent the pages over and over and over and over again. And now they're worn thin, like you're welcome. I never want you to look back on this. Our chapter's over and I've bent the pages over and 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 over again. Now they're worn thin, like you're welcome.
Check 1, 2. Deep Ellum on air.
Right, you're on mute.
Deep Ellum on air.
It's time to really get our party on now.
I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. I will rest now. Won't feel no stress now. I'm high like the moon now. And I will clouds I lost you, baby. We all get lonesome here. We all get lonesome. We all get lonesome. We all get lonesome. Yeah, I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. I said my feet won't touch the ground, so lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. In the clouds I lost you, baby.
HireAHero.org presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show, here on DeepElemOnAir.com. Oh, make me over. I want you on me. Na, 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 na. I forgot the
You don't
words.
know the words?
I love this song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Celebrity Skin, right?
Hole is awesome, yeah.
Hole is awesome. Thank you for
Dude,
saying
Cat
that.
didn't know Hole.
What?
I know.
Well, you know, she's a youngster.
Yeah, still though.
They're an old band now. They are an old band. There was a time in my life where they were the new band, and now they're the old band.
That'd be like not knowing Pearl Jam though.
They're another old band.
Yeah, but still. She knows Led Zeppelin.
I'm so glad we made it. I know how it goes. I just don't know the word.
It's when I wake up in my makeup.
All right. Yeah, I love Hole.
that's awesome.
I love Hole. They were good. The one album, completely written by Billy Corgan and Kurt Cobain, yet taking credit by Courtney Love. But hey, you know, that's why it's a great album. Because two absolutely amazing songwriters wrote just about every song on that album. She just erased their name and put her name over it. Her dead husband, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, and Billy Corgan, who got really pissed. In years following, Billy Corgan was very vocal about, yeah, I wrote that half that album, but didn't get any credit. Or maybe he got some credit, but whatever. It was, of course, it was a source of some
Did you ever see
argument
that
between them.
that documentary, or I don't know if you want to call it documentary, the movie Courtney, Kurt and Courtney, or something like that? Courtney and I, or Courtney and me, or you know what I'm talking about? What is it called? The one where they're basically trying to frame Courtney Love as Kurt Cobain's
You are talking
would
about
be.
you are talking about the single greatest documentary ever made, Nick Broomfield's Kurt and Courtney.
Yeah. Okay.
Unbelievably good. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I'd love to do like a film festival where we show that on a Friday night. That is one of the funny. Kurt's friends were all huge losers. Do you remember? You know what's great about that movie? It shows you why Courtney Love is so fucking broken as a human being. You know, they show her whole life and like where she came from. You remember Courtney Love's dad?
Yeah.
Tell folks about that dude, Hank. I believe his name was Hank Love or something like that.
Oh, I mean,
He was basically prostituting her out. Well, no. I mean, I should be a little bit. He's like pimping her fame in the movie, and it's just very awkward, very uncomfortable. But yeah.
So what do you think about that, though? Do you think?
Well, explain what it is. That I
Okay,
should think.
so basically, the movie says that she hires this like Russian assassin to kill Kurt Cobain, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He was going to do it, and man, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Am I right?
We need to watch it again.
Yeah, we do.
Let me see. The guy here. Let me see if I can find a really good. Remember the guy?
All right.
How do you spell Courtney?
It's Courtney.
Oh yeah. See, there we go. All right. Do you remember the scary dude, the punk rock dude that they went and interviewed at the end?
Yeah.
He was like,
El Duce.
El Duce, yeah, that guy. I'm looking for a clip of that guy, just as an example of how unbelievably great that. Here he is. Go look at this. We got El Duce interview. Okay, let's play this. Why not? While we're talking about it. This could be a weekend pick to click since we just happened to stumble across the conversation. But if you are a fan, I'll fix that. If you are a fan of Nirvana, as I am, if you are a fan of Kurt Cobain, as I am, then this movie, Kurt and Courtney, was a must-see.
Yeah.
So this is the guy.
Other side with Divine Brown's.
Here, this is the guy who claims that he was paid to murder Kurt Cobain by Courtney Love. Here, tell me if you think this is a credible dude. His name is El Duce. He's a legendary Southern California punk rock icon dude from like the 1970s. He doesn't have a pot to piss in. He lives in a junkyard. He's completely tattooed. He's the scariest looking dude. But here, this is a really scary dude trying to be friendly to the camera guy, yet still being really fucking scary. Let's listen.
Pimp, a close personal friend of El Duce's who said he could put us in touch.
Let me give it. Okay.
All right, now they're on El Duce's property.
Back, Vixen. Back. Is that? Looks like him right there, actually. That's the one. There he is, El Duce.
Where?
Here comes El Duce.
There he is, right there. Actually, he's Hey, I got some Courtney Love there. There it is. This is him, El Duce.
El Duce has got a shaved head, a big beard, a wife beater.
Where's the booze? Sure the dog won't get out and attack us here? This is
El Duce just flipped off the camera in very punk rock style.
A warped, intoxicated most of the time.
So, but you did some deal with Courtney, right?
Yeah. She offered me 50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I was telling you this.
There you have it.
50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain.
Boy, you didn't have to break the ice. You didn't have to beat around the bush. You didn't have to talk about the weather or anything. You just got right to the point. He ain't high. You didn't pry this information out of El Duce.
And that's a fact, is it? But people might think you're not the most reliable witness.
Well, that's too bad. You may not be the reliable witness your own self.
Doesn't he sound like Chris Farley? He sounds like to me like Chris Farley doing a character.
Now think about that one.
Yeah.
You know, when she offered me money, God dang, I wish I would have taken it.
God.
But I know who whacked him.
But how were you going to whack him? Did she tell you how to do it?
Yeah, blow his fucking head off.
But where were you going to find him to do it?
Well, up there, and she gave, mapped it out. I mean, up there in Bellevue, wherever they live, right outside Seattle. I know right where the house is. I know right what garden to pop him in. I just didn't think she was serious.
But did she tell you how?
He's just so like, no big deal. They're not talking about the murder, the contract murder of a music legend, of a music icon. They're just shooting the shit over a beer. I mean, listen to this guy's delivery. He's either completely lying and making this up, or he has no conscience whatsoever about murdering someone for money.
So what do you think? You think he's lying?
Oh, I think he's full of shit. Yeah, totally.
She wanted you to
Yeah,
pop
she
him?
says, blow his fucking head off. I got the shotgun.
But she didn't say anything about
Make it
making
look like a suicide.
Well, yeah, but if you just blew his brains out like you said, it wouldn't look like suicide. It looked like you blew his brains out, right?
But I told Alan, my friend.
Completely fuck with Alan, my friend.
I'll let the FBI catch him. But that's just the way it's done. End of story. I got, hey, 50 grand does a lot of talking. You buy me a beer, I might do some more talking.
See, I don't know if this guy has any credibility whatsoever, but Kurt and Courtney is the documentary. It's an absolute must-see. It's so awesome. And if you look, I was a pretty big fan of Kurt Cobain. I was a big fan of Nirvana. I actually saw Nirvana at a small club like a month before Smells Like Teen Spirit exploded. In fact, one of his last shows was a show I didn't get to go to, but a show I was going to go to, which was at the Metro in Chicago. Some small, intimate show. They had already blown up. And anyone who was a fan of Kurt Cobain at the time, I mean a real fan, his suicide wasn't any big surprise. You know, I mean, he was a very bummed out dude. He didn't seem happy. And let's not forget, like a month before he tried to commit suicide. You know, this is not, you know, when he succeeded, it wasn't his first try. Like a month before in Rome, he took a whole bottle of pills in a hotel room trying to end it all. And, you know, so was he murdered by Courtney? Do I believe that? No. Do I think Courtney Love is kind of a train wreck skank? Absolutely. Well, I don't think she tried to murder Kurt Cobain. And I think all these people who tell stories, you know, they just see money in it. They see an opportunity to, you know, maybe write a book or something like that. So who knows? What do you think? I mean, you've seen the documentary.
No, I don't want to believe that. No, that's just, no. I think you're right. The guy has no credibility. Yeah, it's weird, though.
No, but personally, about Kurt Cobain. I mean, do you feel that
he killed himself?
It's crazy that he wouldn't kill himself? I mean, he
No,
wasn't.
Absolutely.
He wasn't the dude from Maroon 5, you know, that like all happy guy. He wasn't Justin Timberlake. Kurt Cobain was a really bummer of a dude.
He lived under a bridge at some point,
Yeah.
you know?
And he was strung out on heroin most of the time. So he was all, I just don't understand. I mean, he was a real drag. At the time, we thought he was like just super cool dude that like spoke for the entire generation. But that turned out he was just a drag. He was just a dumb, junky drag.
No, I wouldn't call him dumb.
I would.
Brilliant.
Oh, no.
He just.
No. Hold on. No. Do not. Let me finish. Let me put it all in context. He was a dumb, junky loser who was brilliant when it came to songwriting and making music. That cannot be taken away from him. The guy is I mean, he's one of my all-time favorite songwriters. That album was like, boom, that was like an atomic bomb in my life growing up. That came at a time when I hated music. I hated popular music. And then all of a sudden, one of these cool indie bands that I was into that I couldn't hear on the radio, all of a sudden they were the biggest thing in the world. And they kicked that fucking door open for every other band who'd been around for 5 years or whatever, nobody'd ever heard of. Suddenly they're making some money. I was very pleased. No, I was a big Nirvana fan. So, but he really was. If you listen back to like interviews, go on YouTube and watch some Kurt Cobain interviews. He was a dumb guy. He didn't live in the real world. And there was something wrong with him. And sadly, genius comes with a price. You know what I mean? They say that a lot. People who are so gifted in one area are just completely bankrupt in another.
Yeah.
He had to have been difficult to be around. By the way, have you seen the daughter? Did you know his daughter's like 20 now or something?
Yeah.
My God, I remember when Frances Bean was born. That was huge news. And now she's like 20.
She kind of looks like him. She looks like a mix between her and Courtney. It's cool.
That should be a good-looking kid. Is she good-looking?
Yeah, she's real pretty.
She is pretty good for her. Good for Bean, because that's what she was known during the pregnancy, Bean. Yeah, and she also seems, she's the money. You understand that, right? This like 20-year-old girl is the one that owns Kurt Cobain's music catalog. Wow. It went to her. And she's like cut Courtney off. Her own mother. She like divorced her own mom because Courtney was so messed up. Well, you gotta figure, Courtney had a lot of money while raising Frances Bean. And it was Frances Bean's money that she had because the father, Kurt, left it all to his daughter. So she wasn't really... Frances Bean Cobain went to the best schools. You know, she had the best teachers. She had the best experiences. She's not some dirtbag strung-out junkie punk like her mom is. She's actually a very sophisticated, well-moneyed, you know, Hollywood chick. Chick raised for whatever that's worth. But yeah, she cut off her mom. She like recognized her mom and went, you know, Mom, you are a fuck up. And I am not a fuck up. And you are not going to blow through Daddy's $500 million. So yeah, apparently she's on a monthly stipend from her daughter. Her daughter gives her mom like a monthly allowance.
Wow.
And yeah, and they have like no contact. All right, let's get into the Facebook page. We ask people for topics. We like to talk about these topics. First one, boy, I would be remiss if we did an entire show and didn't mention this. Yes, Boston police today arrested 3 more suspects in the bombings. Here's what's going on. Did you hear about this? Did you see this story?
Yeah. I didn't read the details, though. I knew you would talk about it.
Yeah, it's 3, actually 1 American and 2, at least by the, again, these details, by tonight, it could be 15 suspects. It could be no suspects. Who knows? It's been a few hours now, though, so certain consistencies are going through. Appears that there are 3 suspects. It appears that they were students along with Johar at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. 2 of them are also foreign nationals on expired student visas. And the third one is described as an American. I believe the third one might be a girl. Do not know for sure on that. But what did we learn from the last couple of weeks? I don't know what to talk about here. Apparently in this country, we now need to wait 7 to 10 days to find out what the truth of something is. They got 3 people, 3 suspects. I don't know. Are they a part of some big terror network?
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
There's gonna be people here that are, you know, cells. To what? You know, we don't know, but there are people here that want to do harm to people.
Here's what we know. They're classmates. Actually, we'll just play this. Go ahead. Looks like CNN's got a quick little story here. We'll play this. And then we will discuss.
Yeah, so I was in New Bedford when the 2 Azamat and Diaz students were taken into custody. We had learned through Jason Kessler on our desk on Friday night that 3 people had been taken into custody off Carriage Drive in New Bedford. This is a very residential neighborhood. There's a lot of students that live in this neighborhood. So on Saturday, myself and Jay McMichael, one of our photojournalists, went down there to check out the scene. We were there with several media, and we went to the door. I knocked on the door and asked if I could speak with Azamat and Diaz, and they both kind of laughed at me, looked at me, very pretentious almost. They were having a great time with the media being up front. They were taking video and photos of us. At one point, it looked like they were going to try to talk to us, but one of the photographers on scene started snapping photos that scared them back into the room. We were there for about 5 to 6 hours, and eventually the DSS, Homeland Security, and a consulate van pulled up. We're inside the house for about an hour, and then we have video of them being taken out in handcuffs, Azamat and Diaz, and brought off to an unknown location. There is a third person that lives in that building with Azamat and Diaz. We were told by neighbors that it is either the ex or the current girlfriend of the younger suspect, Johar Sanara.
Oh.
We're not sure whether or not she is the person that's in custody, the third person, but she was living in the building with Azamat and Diaz. I tried to speak to her as well. She didn't want anything to do with me. We did not see her taken out into custody. This is just presumption, but she was in the building and had been taken into custody Friday night. All 3 of them had been released, and then the authorities came back the next day and took Azamat and Diaz into custody.
And I just want to remind our viewers, these are the 2 Kazakh students visiting Times Square last year with Johar Tsarnaev, the 2 Kazakh students, Diaz Khadarbayev, and the other student, Azamat Tazayakov. These are the 2 Kazakh students who were arrested today by the FBI. There's a third person, a U.S. citizen, arrested as well. We have not yet identified that third person.
All right, so see, I don't know. There's reports that there are 3 people in custody, 2 people in custody, 1 people in custody. One of them's a girlfriend, one of them's a girl. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out later tonight. But here's the thing, okay? Their charges include charges include lying to police, Two are classmates of suspect Joe Carr. They face federal charges, and I believe those federal charges are in relation to expired visas. I think their visas to be in this country as students is expired. At least that's what was reported earlier today by multiple sources who said they were initially taken into custody on Friday night but released on Saturday. Third person ID'd as Robel Filipos now. That's breaking. All right, so whatever. So the third person is not the girlfriend. Here's the thing. These guys may not have helped plant the bomb. These guys may not have went out and bought the materials or done anything like that. But if these guys knew what this fucker was up to or what he was getting into and didn't do their duty as an American citizen to help all of us protect our society, fuck them, throw them in jail. I'm not saying forever, throw them in jail. There has got to be a penalty for people who do not report terrorist activities.
Well,
There's got to be.
But how can you prove? Like, what if? Yeah, they suspected he was going to do it, but what if maybe they just thought he was crazy and didn't really know for sure that they were.
I understand that. I understand that. Life is complicated. Then maybe they sit down and they explain that to an FBI agent for the next 12 hours.
But that would.
They now got to convince the FBI agents that they didn't know anything because we got to make sure that they didn't.
Are they illegal?
Two of them are, yeah.
So you really think they're going to go to the FBI? They're illegal.
Yeah, but the fact that they're illegal, yeah, you're right. You know what? A terrorist, they'd be here legally.
So they're gonna.
They'd have their ducks in a row.
So they're thinking, oh man,
People think they
this
wouldn't be.
dumbass could be doing this stuff. We don't know for sure, but we know we're illegal, and if we go in there, there's a possibility that they'll be like, oh hey, by the way, you're here illegally. Get the fuck
well,
out.
you know what? Here's the thing. You come in as an illegal and you say, look, I want to first say that my visa has expired, but I appreciate this country. I appreciate what this country stands for. I feel that it is my duty to tell. This could have been a way for them to get all their problems to go away. Shit, they'd be the heroes. They'd be the good immigrants. They'd be the good ones that we want here, who are going to pitch in and help. But they didn't. They kept quiet because they were stupid.
And who are they to tell? The FBI, right?
Yeah, you got police, FBI, something.
And the
immigration.
FBI already been told like several times about these guys.
Yeah, and they're in there. That's the problem. You're right. The FBI was told years before by the Russian intelligence agencies.
I read that he tried to go to Mecca and was denied. Did you see that?
Well, he was denied an opportunity to compete for the United States Olympic boxing team because of supposed red flags by the FBI. He was on a no-fly list. He was on a watch list. This guy came and went. But you know what? I get humiliated at the airport because I forget that I have a bottle of mouthwash in my bag. But these guys who are actually on no-fly lists are coming, they're going. The whole system is broke.
That's weird.
The entire system is broken. We need to start over. But you can't really just start over because what? There's going to be 6 months where it's just the floodgates are open while we install the new plant? I mean, we got to fix what we have in a way that will, you can't retroactively insure anything, I guess. People are here. People who hate us are here. These kids, they may not be a part of some sleeper cell, or they might be. It'd be interesting too, but I don't think they are. I think they're just his college friends.
Yeah, and they got caught up in it because unfortunate circumstances.
However, if they had information and they didn't do their duty, even if they were concerned because their visas were expired, then they got to be deported. They're not our problem. You can't come. That's the least we can do is deport them. They are foreign nationals. Get them out of this country. They'll never be able to come back.
Yeah.
And their duty as good visiting foreign nationals would have been to help out if they saw something, and they didn't. And the excuse of, but we were scared, bullshit. You're a pussy, and now you have to pay the price for being a pussy because you were scared. And people are missing legs now because you were fucking scared. Yeah, seriously. But that suggests that we believe that they knew something. And they might not have known anything. This might have just been something Joe Carr was doing with his older brother. Yeah, anyway, it's messed up. But I'll be interested to find out what these three will give us. All right, here's something just for you that's going on in the news today, Jedi. Can't believe we haven't talked about this. Did you know that there are hearings going on right now and all this week on the very subject that keeps you awake at night? And of course, I'm speaking of the presence of UFOs and whether or not they exist.
Yes. Oh, actually, I know about this.
Oh, well,
Stephen Greer.
What can you tell us about it?
You talking about the press conference at the National Press Center?
Well, there's a study in here. Here, I'll just read it to you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, here it is.
Dude, I think disclosure is right around the corner.
Never
I really do.
going to happen.
Now I don't think I don't. Now when I say disclosure, I don't mean like United. Because listen, honestly, it's already happened. It just hasn't happened by the United States government. But there are plenty of other countries that they have disclosed their UFO files.
Who? That's insanity. You're trying
okay,
to,
I'm about to blow your mind.
You're trying to make me believe that there are other governments, recognized governments, that have come out and said, "Yeah, aliens exist."
Yes.
Who?
Okay,
I'm
going to show you. Give me
you find it. I'll read the story. Former Representative Caroline Cheeks Kilpatrick of Detroit and 6 other former members of Congress will host 30 hours of hearings this week, aiming to prove that the government is hiding that extraterrestrials exist. The hearing opens today, Monday, April 29th, and runs through Friday at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. Now, this is very interesting because when the president drove by the other day, we were trying to come up with signs. We wanted to make a sign and hold it up for him. And the sign that we all agreed upon was, "Hey, Mr. President, tell us about the UFOs." Because that's the question that keeps Jedi up at night. And we figured it's a good non-political... Okay, work with me on this. Brainstorm. How do we make that a partisan issue? How do we make aliens, the existence of aliens, something... Like, who would want that? Who would want them exposed? Probably liberals. Yeah, the Christian right would not want the UFO files exposed to the general public. Because then, again, like I say, the whole reason that in this country... we will never have a president stand up and go, "Hey, let me show you what we keep in the vault." That'll never happen in this country because of Christianity. Ever, never. And it doesn't matter if every other country on the planet says, "Hey, aliens exist. We've got proof." The United States of America will never do it because of Christianity. Go ahead.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
Let's start off. New Zealand.
All right, what is the criteria? These are countries that what? Have said they have UFO files? Well, every country has one. UFOs are simply just weird sightings that people report.
Yeah, but you got to... They declassified all these UFO files.
All right,
and so now you can go back and...
My question was, I need an official government, a government that says UFOs exist, okay?
So New Zealand, I'm giving them to you.
You know what, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I need a government that says aliens exist.
No one's... UFOs are not aliens.
I know, they're just unidentified flying objects.
Yeah, you can't... No one's saying what's in these UFOs. But here's the thing.
See, but we think our government has an alien somewhere, and we want them to admit that.
No, that's not what we're trying... Well, I mean,
you don't think any other governments have an alien, or you don't think the Queen of England knows that we've had an alien at Roswell for the last 50 years? Come on, they tell people. You don't think that the president has whispered into the dude that runs China and gone, "You ought to see what our alien's doing now. He fucking glows, dude. It's awesome." Yeah, you don't think that happens?
Listen,
I want another country to out us. I want another country to go, "Hey, dinner parties, you've been talking about this, United States of America, bring it up." But see, it'll never happen. It'll never happen because as soon as the existence of aliens are confirmed, people from another planet, then the question becomes, well, who the fuck is their God? Well, and is their God better than our God? And maybe our God isn't the only God, and suddenly Christianity falls and people are jumping out of windows. It'll prove the existence, or it'll prove the non-existence of the Judeo-Christian idea of a God.
You're actually wrong.
No, I'm not. And don't twist it with angels and bullshit like that.
No, I'm not. The Vatican has actually already came out and said that just because could be aliens does not mean there's a God, and in fact, even just proves more that there is a God. Look it up. The Vatican,
not to me. It proves that I'm right.
The Vatican. Well, listen.
It proves that the Bible is bullshit. It proves that okay, so heaven. So what is heaven now? Do these aliens, do they have the same heaven? Because I thought hey, wait a second, they're lizard people, and I thought we were created in God's image. Is there a lizard god out there? And is that lizard god tougher than our human-looking God? And oh my God, are we going to become slaves to the lizard gods? I mean, these are the questions, man.
These are the questions, but the main question that you haven't even really asked, and this is why the United States is still one of the last countries to yet disclose. And can I give you these list of countries?
Yeah, okay. These are countries?
Just real fast.
Okay.
Listen to this. This is, okay, New Zealand.
Nobody takes them seriously.
All right, we got Brazil.
Nobody can understand
Okay,
them.
the UK.
Okay, but they're always trying to one-up us.
Canada.
Again.
Denmark.
It's not even a real country.
Finland.
Again, not a real country.
Mexico.
Again, not a real country.
Peru.
Now, Peru, they're legit.
Russia.
What does Peru have to say? Let's find out what Peru has to say.
Lima, Peru's Air Force has set up a nationwide system to track alleged UFOs whose flashing lights seem to be distracting pilots and radar operations from doing their jobs. Quote, the Air Force is concerned about the disturbances in our airspace, said the Air Force Commander Julio Chamorro, who sees unidentified flying objects as a threat to national security. UFOologists say Peru is home to the hot zones of activity of UFOs that are said to be drawn by Peru's Nazca lines. Do you know what those are, the Nazca lines?
Is that anything to do with Machu Picchu?
No, I'll do the next Everything Strange. I'll do it on the Nazca lines.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Well, we got to get to the first Everything Strange. Remember, we're still just doing Facebook topics. But you've proven to me now that, okay, give me some other countries.
Russia.
See, Russia's who we need. Honestly, the ones that are credible there, UK and Russia. If they're going to come out and say, look, aliens exist, America, your move, that's what I want.
Listen to this. The Russian Navy has declassified its records of encounters with unidentified objects technologically surpassing anything humanity has ever built. Reports... I'm not even going to go into this name. The records dating back to Soviet times were compiled by a special Navy group collecting reports of unexplained incidents delivered by submarines and military ships.
Okay. All right, that's fine. You've proven your point.
Spain?
It's not what I'm looking for.
Sweden?
It's fine. Fine. A lot of countries.
I'm not done. France?
Aren't we listed in there? Isn't the United States listed in there?
One of the last ones to yet disclose its UFO files.
Because we got the good material. That's why. Because we got the good stuff.
We got the good stuff. You're right. And
we got the ships and the aliens and the families.
Again, here's the main question that you got the whole religious implications and you're right. There's huge implications. But the main question is, how are they getting here?
Oh yeah, well,
how are they getting here? What technology are they using
to get here? This is science versus religion. Absolutely, the religion thing's gonna freak everybody else. But yeah, what kind of technological advances have they already provided us with? I mean, we've made some pretty crazy leaps, from like people walking around with candles to entire cities being lit with a light switch. I mean, we've made some pretty great leaps. The internet, dude. Nobody in 1995. Knew that 1996 was going to be completely different, or whatever year the internet really took off. I mean, I remember signing. Do you remember life before the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I remember I was like 27 years old the first time I ever signed online. And I remember my mind being fucking blown, thinking, holy crap, is this a leap forward? Now our entire lives are ruled by our internets and our cell phones. Where did that technology just all of a sudden come from? Doesn't appear to... The internet is not incremental to anything. It wasn't telegraph, radio, TV, internet. No, I mean, all three of those ones that came first, the telegraph, the radio, and the television, they are all incremental improvements upon the other invention. The internet is completely out of left field. Has nothing to do with TV, radio, or anything. Where did that fucking leap come from? That's the kind of technological questions that I think have already been put in place.
And then you got to understand...
Although you would think we would be better about getting to the moon and flying around. If we really had one of their spaceships, wouldn't you think that we'd be better? We still lose astronauts.
What if there is proof on the moon and we can't go because there's all kinds of stuff there that's like, man, if we start going up to the moon more, people are going to find out that we are not alone.
like we got a moon, like we got a Star Wars bar up there.
Who knows?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
On the dark side of the moon, we're running like a, it's like a Dick's Last Resort too. It's like a corporate outpost.
Yeah.
They got the
it's the Illuminati. The Illuminati. So
because NASA, you know, they need sponsorship wherever they can get.
But you have to. There's this whole fact that our money is ran on oil. If that was to go away, all those people that own all that money and the oil and they don't want that to go away. They don't want us to not be dependent on it anymore. They don't want us to have this technology that if there is UFOs, listen, 90, let's say of all the UFO sightings, if only 1% of those is real, what does that mean?
It means that they're military. It means that there's some kind of experimental human-based aircraft.
What is that technology they're using, though? What is a technology that can be jetting across the sky?
You know I believe in UFOs. I totally believe in them. Well, what's not to believe in UFOs? UFOs are real. There are all kinds of sightings of things that cannot be identified that later are identified, and they go from being UFOs to not being UFOs. UFOs exist. They're real. Whether or not they're alien in origin is the thing that I am fascinated by. And so goes Caroline Cheeks Kilpatrick, former congressman. She and 6 other former members of Congress will gather this week. The hearings are intended to prove that space aliens have made repeated contact with Earth leaders, but that the federal government is engaged in a cover-up to hide their efforts. The Detroit News reports that Kilpatrick is being paid $20,000 plus expenses to oversee the hearings. Also on the committee, former Congressman, former Senator Mike Gravel of Alaska, a Libertarian, Lynn Woolsey, a Democrat from California, Darlene Hooley, another Democrat from Oregon, Roscoe Bartlett, a Republican from Maryland, and Merrill Cook, another Republican from Maryland. All right, nice bipartisan committee there. Witness Stanton Friedman, a Canadian. Oh, that dude. You know that dude, right? Stanton Friedman. He's on all the UFO shows. He's got the weird beard and he looks kind of alien and evil.
Yeah.
He looks like he was to be an evil Star Trek villain. That's a terrible look for a guy representing the UFO community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has no credibility with that look. He makes people go, oh, come on. He may as well be wearing a pointy hat. Stanton Friedman, a Canadian UFO researcher, likens the conspiracy to a cosmic Watergate. Democrat Kilpatrick served in Congress from 1997 to 2011. Her son is Kwame Kilpatrick, disgraced former mayor of Detroit. I added the disgraced. This is very interesting. This is. I would love to see what comes of this. Of course, it is not being covered in the mainstream, the lamestream media. But how amazing!
That's because the people who own the media also own the oil.
What do you think we have?
I think we have.
Did a ship crash at Roswell? Let's go with the traditional story.
Yes.
Did a ship crash at Roswell?
Yes,
okay.
There is overwhelming evidence that did happen.
Something occurred. Something did occur. That is absolutely.
It was reported. It was reported by newspapers,
as
and then
UFO,
they were
as an alien.
Yeah, and then they were told to not report it and to say that it was like swamp gas or some bullshit. It was, or no, it was a weather balloon.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go with there was an alien craft.
There was an alien crash.
And were bodies recovered?
There were bodies recovered.
Was one of them alive?
Some of them were alive.
And they were taken where? To Area 51?
To an underground, there's an underground base. Actually in Dulce, New Mexico, not Area 51.
Oh, so you are of the belief that Area 51 is nothing but a, hey, look over here. Because there are a lot of people that think Area 51, because it's so public, is sort of the government faking everyone out, saying, yeah, focus here.
Yeah, I don't know.
The real bases are in Ohio.
I hadn't really done enough, looking into it to have an opinion on that.
I used to be a big UFO conspiracy guy. So.
But these reports that I'm saying, they're from policemen that were there that day. They're from retired Air Force people that were picking up scraps of the weird metal with weird stuff on it. And I mean, these are legit, man. It's weird. So the implications are just staggering.
Didn't like the commander of the base on his deathbed admit that he lied and was told to lie and that there were really aliens there.
Yes.
But he could have been a senile, demented old guy. But still, the commander of the base says that. And he says, yeah, we were lied to. All right, so I believe that too. I believe that there is something. I believe that there's something that's still alive. I choose to, he probably works at one of this underground. I don't know what the hell I'm imagining. But I do think that there is something that they aren't telling us that would absolutely blow our minds, and that's why they won't tell us. Because a population with a blown mind is really hard to corral. If the entire country had their mind blown at once, windows would be getting broken. People would be slamming into cars just because, what the fuck, my mind is blown. Hell would break loose.
Think about what
Too
happened.
big an announcement.
The War of the Worlds.
The radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the famous radio show.
There's a lot of theories that was a test to see how people
would react to the news. Yeah, the story of War of the Worlds is the Mercury Theater back in 1939 or something. I don't know what it was. Orson Welles directed a radio play back in the time when everyone gathered around the radio to listen. And the radio play was on Halloween. That should have been a little bit of a hint, but what the hell. It was a music show, live from the whatever ballroom, and people were gathered around to hear the big band sounds of whatever. And then in the middle of it, they broke in. They broke into the music. Like, we interrupt this program to bring you this special report. And the entire show was about how aliens had landed in New Jersey. And people went apeshit.
Killing themselves.
People thought it was real. I mean,
jumping out windows and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why nobody changed to another channel to see if anybody else was reporting this. But people stayed on that CBS radio station in New York and all over the country where it was carried via syndicated network back then. And, people killed themselves and they got in trouble. But and the theory has long been that, that was a test that Orson Welles was asked by the United States government to see how people would react. And people didn't handle it well. So here we are 80 years later and we still don't have, the truth about aliens.
Well, hey, think about if CNN did that now and really wanted to try to, they could do it to you until you switched over to Fox.
Too hard to do that now. Too hard. There are too many different media sources. Yeah. You see a phony bit of mind-blowing media that appears on one thing, you're immediately on your phone, checking CNN.com, checking everything. It couldn't happen now. It would be frightening if it could, because that would mean that someone is so stupid and so completely... Fox News could do it. If Fox News did it, those people won't go anywhere else but Fox. If Fox News did it, they might have people freaking out.
Well, what if the main four, like on an April Fool's Day, all decided to, or not the main four, but however, the main, Fox, CNN, whatever, they all decided to do it at a certain time. That, hey, we're going to act like the fucking aliens are coming.
I don't know if that would be as interesting as what would happen a month later when the heads of all of those companies are trotted in front of Congress and brought up on charges of causing mass hysteria. I mean, that's Homeland Security, baby. We got all kinds of things you can't do now. It's not just yell fire in a crowded theater. You can't cause people to do crazy shit. All right, so we got Baptists here in Texas. Michael Welsh, he wants to talk about the Baptists calling an end to the state lotto here in Texas. Baptists, otherwise known as the American Islam. Oh, that might be our TV guy. Let's see here. What else do we have on the Facebook page? Things that we will talk about. Nah, you know what? I think we're going to. I think we'll just take a break here. We'll take a break. We'll play a couple of songs, and we'll come back. We'll come back, and we will do Jedi's new segment. He's got this new segment he's very proud of. It's called Spooky Talk with Jedi. He said you people probably remember it. I wasn't paying attention. But we're going to talk about these hums. Now, if you don't, this is something that I've been fascinated by for the last year or so as I first... There is a phenomena that is occurring all around the world, and again, this is something that is not being disputed. It's happening all around the world, and it is this noise, this really kind of scary low frequency noise that is coming from the sky. It's almost like the earth is so old it's settling and making these noises. I'm trying to explain what the hum is.
All right, so wait, hold on. Are we getting into my segment?
No, we're going to take a break and then we'll come back.
okay.
We'll get into the segment. Well, that deserves to be its own segment.
Yeah,
on
because
its
I got
own.
a whole bed and
Oh, cool. Yeah. I was telling people, I was just bringing people up to speed on what the hum is.
Okay.
Here, you know what? I'll give you an idea of what the hum is, okay? Before he does this segment here.
Play a clip.
Yeah, I was just going to go over to your page because I know I put something. This is a recording of the hum that occurred in Chicago, somewhere around about where I'm from. And this is very similar to what people are hearing. So listen to this. Here, this is what we're going to be talking about. This noise. Recorded live from a roof deck on Chicago's
so when I
south
came
side.
up here to get the footage I was going to get today, I was encountered by a very weird sound. There's downtown, about 6 miles away, but I have no idea what the sound is. It sounds like it's coming out of the sky. It literally, I don't know where to point the camera because it's literally coming from the sky.
Can you hear it?
So
yeah.
All right, so that's the hum. Happening all over the world. Are they trumpets of doom? Space aliens flying over? Or is the Earth settling like an old rickety house? We'll come back. It's HireAHero.org presents PMS on DeepLMOnAir.com.
Old men talk of how it once was. Young men see it with new eyes. Old men think the young are crazy, with no direction for their lives, with calloused hands and dirty faces. They've been building us a world. Young men are busy with their passions, wide-eyed, romance and sweet young girls. And these young eyes can only see so far. Focus is short. My head is in the stars. These small hands reach for mysterious, letting go of what's been revealed to us. Where is the wisdom and endurance? The old men tried to make us learn. Where is the freedom and forgiveness the young men think that they deserve? The earth is cursed, the dirt is hardened. Sweat is the price for what is good. Young men would rather take it easy instead of sweating like they should. And these young eyes can only see so far. Focus is short. My head is in the stars. These small hands reach for mysterious, letting go of what's been revealed to us. 'cause I'm stuck inside the present, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Please bring the wisdom I need. Set out a path before me, because I'm stuck inside the present, and there's nothing I can do to change it. I'm stuck inside the present, and there's nothing I can do to change it.
Check out DBellumOnAir.com for all of your exclusive rates, show times, and more. Everything you need to know about the local music scene for the Dallas-Fort Worth area can be found online. DBellumOnAir.com.
I've been searching for something, but I can't see anything at all. I'm higher than I've ever been, and I don't think that I'll fall down. Higher than you. You get lost in your pockets, your eyes falling out of the sockets in your head. You're trying the straight and the narrow. Which direction will you follow now? Tell the sky from the sea. I can't tell if you're talking to me, 'cause I can't surrender my sickness. Surrender my sickness. Well, I can't see the forest from the trees, and I can't tell the sky from the sea. I can't tell if you're talking to me, 'cause I can't surrender my sickness.
Network presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show, heard each and every day, noon-ish, till whenever the hell we feel like it. We will be consistently bringing you this sort of content through the... You want me to just unplug it? There you go. All right, we're about to unveil a new segment here on the show. Stuff that keeps Jedi up at night. What is this called? What is this segment called?
Everything's Strange.
Everything is strange. All right,
Everything is
I'm
strange.
going to lean back and relax, and you just take it away.
Okay.
Can't predict the changes. Can't predict the change. And I can't predict the changes. Everything's so strange. Everything's so strange. Everything's so strange. Everything's so strange.
All right.
Can't predict.
All right, so on today's Everything Strange, we're going to talk about the earth noises that's going on.
Ooh, yes.
We got the hums.
The hums are what I'm interested in.
But and I don't know, I'm not sure why you're counting down the booms that's also going on. We got booms going on.
The booms are interesting as well,
Yeah.
but we're doing a lot of like drilling and stuff, so the booms.
All right, well, so the hums started back in.
Hey, let me say this: the booms, I'm almost positive are bad. The hum, I have no idea what that is. That's why it's
So
freaking me
you don't
out.
think it's related?
I don't know what to think. I do not know what to think.
All right, so well, when you look at these earth noises, it started with the hums, and when you start digging into it, you see reports happening back in 2011, but really there were reports back in '98.
Sure.
Of these.
Oh yeah, I know
these
this has
hums
been
happening.
reported for a while.
Yeah. So.
But it seems, I pointed this out. It seems to me that there were a lot, the more recent hums that have been uploaded to YouTube and other sites, many of them occur around May of 2012. And I just suggested that here we are on May 1st. Maybe this is going to be a yearly phenomenon now, where we.
Well, let's hear some of these hums.
All right, tell us what we're listening
now. This
to.
is in the Ukraine.
This is the horrifying.
And this
one.
is the groaning. It's more like groaning.
It sounds like Godzilla.
Now you think this could be
That is
faked.
awful. That
Now
is
let me
awful.
just give you two key or one really key thing how you can know that this could easily be, if you had the right proper software and equipment, you could tell if this was a fake or not. You have other noises going on. You have some little kids. So you can tell, and then not only that, but
I mean,
this
you're watching a video.
yeah, in this particular sound,
It's like a home video.
yeah, and this was heard. Multiple people got this.
Yeah, this is a very well-reported example.
Isn't it? It's wild. I'm gonna skip ahead this video a little bit because there's other examples. Because
Now, these are noises, and this isn't just one. These are all over the world. I remember Art Bell talking about these years ago. And now they're appearing on YouTube, and where is this?
well,
What are we
because now everyone has these videos on their phones.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody.
so-
Here we go. This noise is just coming out of the sky all around the world. What does it say there on the screen?
You're saying it's the, I don't know, it's because I skipped ahead, but this is the one. This is one in Canada. They're showing that it was reported in the Windsor Star.
Sure.
Here's another one. All right, so that's the hums. or the groaning and the humming noise. Didn't you play one earlier from that was more like?
Here, let me play this. This is I guess a news.
Well, I have like a bunch of news. That's because it's been. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of news stuff. If you want to play news stuff.
Yeah, I think to hear actual legitimate, well, not legitimate, well, but you know what I'm saying, real news.
Well, do you
people
have
in
one
major
over
cities.
a hum? Because actually, mine are just about the booms.
I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see what I got here. I'll just play this. We got a lot to talk
What
about
is
here.
this?
This is something that's going to give us a commercial first.
You need to get ad block, so take that away.
Well, the good thing about YouTube is that they usually let you bail on a commercial.
Yeah, but if you had ad block, you wouldn't have any commercial.
This one there. All right, let's see what this is. This looks like to be a compilation of news reports on The Hum. Let's see here. Here.
Haunting sound,
Oh, yeah,
if we've ever heard one.
This is from a baseball
Yeah,
game. This
I
is
remember
very creepy. Here, let me set this one up right for you.
From the ground, it was a synthetic noise. It's really there.
You personally experienced
I personally experienced it. I sat and the person in the house at the time shut off the air conditioner, shut off the furnace, shut off the water main, shut off the electricity, and turned everything off and around the house. And if you put your palm to the hardwood floor, you could feel some sort of synthesizing a little bit of a noise vibration.
Yeah,
it's very
people
weak.
say that
it grows a little
vibration,
bit, but it's
the entire
consistent
home
and it goes
shake.
back down. It's real, it's there, it's present, and I think that this issue needs to be taken much more seriously.
All right. Here, it says there were quite a few strange sounds in the skies reported on the 22nd and 23rd of August 2011. There was also a large earthquake that shook the eastern United States on August 23rd. Is there a connection? I don't know.
Yes. Well,
This is Colorado, August of 2011.
See, that's the booms.
Okay, and you're going to talk about these as well?
Yeah, we're talking about those.
That sounds like Godzilla walking. And this is, again, home video by hikers. And they're looking very confused by these noises.
And some of those booms have been so loud it's been known to break glass. Which you would think it's sonic booms, but what kind of sonic booms do that?
No. That's weird. Tampa Bay Devil Rays game, August 23rd, 2011.
Listen to this. This is more like the hum.
That's a haunting sound, if we've ever heard one. One ball, no strikes.
That ain't.
This isn't a fucking baseball game.
That
These
ain't
are the
fakes, my friend.
These are the announcers during
And the bunt is foul. The
don't know
count
what
is
to
1-1.
What could that possibly be?
See?
Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
Hey, speaking of supernatural, young right-hander entered the game. That's why I was looking for something like that to show people who are just hearing about this for the first time that this isn't just crackpot shit. I mean, there are actual there's a whole slew of local news reports about people reporting this, people playing their own noises. Look, that was a baseball game. Those were two stiff baseball announcers.
And it really is the sound that
This
had
is-
people
this was just
across
from
the
January
Tri-City
26th.
saying, what was that?
Yeah, on Saturday evening, many of you reached out to us to let us know about a boom sound that you heard at your homes. So far, there have been a lot of theories, but no concrete evidence as to what those booms actually were.
We tried to find out. News Channel 11's Mike Lemmy has spent this evening looking into some of those theories.
Yeah, we don't have to. I want to show you examples though, because and the list, there were a list. Like, just Google it. Just Google news reports of
It's
these.
real. There's real news about it. I mean, the baseball. I'm telling you, man, that baseball game. That tells me that something really is being heard. So now, what is it? All right, we are past the point where people are just faking that. There's no noises. Look, we had a couple of dudes, stiffs. The baseball announcers are stiffs. They don't break format for anything. These are, hey, how about that noise? Isn't that the craziest noise? These guys were really confused. And just as everyone... Here, one more time. Let me get queued up right here. Listen, one more time from a baseball game. Put me up.
haunting sound if we've ever heard one. One ball, no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
Now what could that possibly be?
See, there.
Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
I mean, that's all I need to know. The sound is really being heard. It's legit. These aren't fakes. So let's get past that bullshit and let's actually. What the fuck is it? So what is it?
What do you think it is?
I do not know. Here's what I'm cautious of. I'm cautious of future generations making fun of us. That this is just something that the world is going to do now. Maybe it's the maturation of the plant. I don't know. But this noise, what if this noise like 10 generations down the road is as common as thunder? It's as common as, and they will make fun of us. They'll say, you remember when people were actually afraid of the hum? Remember that? I mean, we really have to be humble in our recognition of the shit we don't know. We have nothing figured out. As human beings, we don't know what the hell is going on. We got a bunch of theories, we got a bunch of religions, but we really don't know anything about nothing, and we're constantly learning, not only as a race of people, as a collective society. We don't know shit. So I am a bit cautious that this really is just some natural phenomena that's going to happen now with the Earth that was probably never noticed before. Now, what could that mean?
Well, you're actually on to something.
But here's what I want it to be. Okay, quickly. I want this to be the sounds of a giant invisible mothership. That's what I want it to be.
That's not what it is.
Well, screw you.
No, it's definitely not that, because it's coming from the Earth. It is the Earth that is creating these noises. It's not any kind of UFO shit.
So what do you think? You
like
tell
that.
me you've been looking around.
Well,
are the booms and the trumpets of death, are they related?
I believe they are related. I believe they are. When you look at sound frequency, there could be sounds going on right now that we don't even know about just because we can't hear it. We don't hear it. It's on a different kind of frequency that we don't hear. So I think these are just.
Yeah, I mean, shit. There are animals on this planet that can hear shit that we can't.
Yeah.
Maybe dogs have been hearing this shit all the time. You know, and they're like, really? What are you guys freaking out about?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's normal. That's like thunder. We've been hearing that. I've been hearing that for 6 years.
Now these, like you said, it was on TV. These people have been knowing about.
One more time. I gotta play this because this is the best. This is absolutely the best evidence so far of this. Okay, here we go. Once again, from a baseball game.
That's a haunting sound if we've ever heard one. One ball, no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
Now what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
Yeah, that's all I need to hear. It's a real thing. It does sound supernatural.
Yep.
It's the very. If you believe that it is the Earth making that sound or the sky making that sound, then that is the very definition of supernatural. It's something that occurs naturally that has heretofore gone unidentified.
Now, since 2011, a lot of geologists they've
what are the theories? What are smart people saying?
Well, they're saying that they've noticed. Number one, they've noticed an almost 1,000% increase in soil liquefaction. You know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Well, it's just a quick definition. It describes a phenomenon where a saturated soil loses strength and stiffness in response to applied stress. So they're saying that all this soil is like sinking down.
Okay.
Right? It's sinking, it's settling down into the mantle. It's restructuring. It's a restructuring of minerals going down into the earth.
Okay.
Now there's some theories that are saying that this could be like a magnetic pole shift kind of thing. You know about.
Okay, when they suggest this, are they concerned? Because I don't know what that means. Is that a good thing or is that a really bad thing?
Yeah, if there was a magnetic pole shift were to occur, which there actually is something going on, and it's oh my God!
Ooh,
I just thought two things just came together. Okay,
something.
So that clip you just played was from the Tampa Bay Rays, which go Rays, by the way.
Okay.
The airport in Tampa. Did you hear about this a couple of years ago? Had to redo its runway because it was no longer pointing north. Like the pole has changed so significantly that they had to redo the runway thing because it was no longer, it was so inaccurate now.
Well, could this have happened? I mean, were there people? Okay. No, there were no people around. Remember when all the continents were connected? What was that called? Pangea. Remember when we had, everything? Because that is the cool thing about looking at the globe. You can see where other continents that have drifted out into the ocean actually fit. You can put them all together like they were all one big giant thing. And then scientists believe that the land masses exploded or whatever, earthquakes. What did they broke apart? Maybe in the years leading up to that, you would have heard the trumpets of doom or these noises. Maybe we are getting ready for another one of these weird landmass shifts.
Exactly. I mean, we know something like...
Could it happen all at once? Don't you assume that happens over thousands of years?
Well, it's been gradually happening, but there has to be a tipping point to where it actually... you know what I mean? There's a whole gradual process, but then there has to be a tipping point.
What's going to break off? Florida?
They say California. There's been prophecies. You know where that came from? That's from Edgar Casey, by the way. That whole California's breaking off.
No, what is that deal?
You've never heard of that?
Of course I've heard it, but I don't know where it comes from. I just
from,
assume it's because of earthquakes.
It comes from Edgar Casey, who would channel information and stuff like that. So
Edgar Casey, great American psychic of the early part of the last century. Yeah. All right, so is that all for your segment, or you got more? Oh, no, I want to hear what scientists have to say.
Well, that's it. That's what I was saying. They're saying that it's a soil liquefaction kind of thing. There's a mantling, something going on with the mantle of the earth. Now, think about this, though. Stuff like the what we know as the flood of Noah, that did happen. Something happened because it's been reported in all kinds of other different, like the Epic of Gilgamesh. There's all kinds of...
So you're asking me to believe, was there a great flood? Sure, I'll go with that.
I think there was some kind of catastrophe that happened.
Without a doubt, I'm sure.
And I think that something could be happening again.
But do you believe that one little old man got two animals of every kind?
No, I don't believe that. No.
Okay, good.
No, I don't believe that.
Because again, ask yourself, where did they shit?
Yeah. So no. Now, somebody in the chat box is saying it's the noise you hear when the military turns on the HAARP machine. That could easily be...
What is the HAARP machine?
You don't know HAARP?
I don't know what that is.
Are you serious?
Is this another one of these late-night Art Bell coast-to-coast kind of deals? What is the HAARP machine?
HAARP is... All right, so basically, in a long story short, HAARP is...
This is a real thing, or it's something we believe exists?
This is a real thing. Go to Wikipedia. HAARP. Basically, what it is a gigantic microwave that they shoot these microwaves up into our ionosphere, and then it bounces back down.
All right, so it's real?
It is real. It's absolutely real. However, anytime HAARP is used, it costs millions and millions of dollars, and you know when HAARP has been used. So in these noises,
I don't know when HAARP has been used.
Well, you can. I'm saying
past me.
It's because you're not really. What they feed you is stuff like non-pertinent information. This is information you have to go actually
dig on the internet.
You gotta go dig it. You gotta go digging.
Sure.
So HAARP, you can tell when HAARP has been used because there's records, okay? And these noises are going on when HAARP was not being used.
Okay.
So
here's the history, a little history of the hums. In Britain, the most famous example was the Bristol hum that made headlines in the late 1970s. It was during the 90s that the hum phenomena began to be reported in North America and to be known to the American public. When a study by the University of New Mexico and the complaints from many citizens living near the town of Taos, New Mexico, caught the attention of the media. The media took the story and disseminated the information on June 9, 2011. It was reported that residents of the village of Woodland, England were experiencing a hum that had already lasted for over 2 months. 2 months. You'd think in 2 months you'd get Anderson Cooper out there. You get somebody, there'd be some sort of around and hum. Hey, day 60 of the hum. Hey, it stopped. All right.
Yeah, right?
You'd think Wouldn't that be interesting?
No, they want to report Britney Spears shaving her hair off.
Well, all right.
That's what was
fairness,
going on.
Both are kind of. I gotta be careful with this because talking about the hum makes you automatically seem loony. However,
because that's
I don't
what
understand why. Because it really is happening. We heard the baseball game. We heard the announcers.
That's because that's one of the tools that they use.
Marginalize.
They
want to
make people feel like if anyone's like right now.
But there are
half of our
there are a lot of
listeners right
crazy
now
people.
going, "Oh, Jedi, he's crazy. He's
Right.
wacky. What he's saying is wacky." Why? What am I saying that is actually wacky? Like, really think about it.
Are you any more? Oh, so I guess the guys who do the broadcast games for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays are wacky too.
Exactly.
Because we've never heard it. We're just reporting that people are hearing it, and we're giving you examples of people with their own. Because everything is recordable now. Everybody's got a camera or a sound device, something on their phone. We're seeing more. We're just playing examples of it. It seems crazy. It's creepy. You know what it is? People, again, the number one motivating factors for Americans today is fear. Fear is the only thing that gets the American off their ass. So they don't even want to consider this. This is way too scary. They're worried. They're worried about everything else. They're worried about getting blown up the next time they go to the shopping mall. They're worried about the next terror attack. They're worried about bird flu, and they're worried about their home going under. And we are filled with shit to be afraid of. I think for most Americans, this is too much. We're just going to take, and that's unfortunate because this sounds like it could be pretty important.
So
the Earth making noises. We should be concerned.
Last week we were talking about Ada the humanoid. Remember? Yeah, we were the little alien thing.
Oh yeah, the baby.
So,
the little 6-inch person that they found in the desert.
So the scientist who did that, who was like, you know what, I'm gonna examine this. I'm gonna figure out what this is. He said he knew he was going to take ridicule from all his colleagues that he's doing this, but he was like, it's weird. I got to figure out what this is. It doesn't make sense to not.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to not examine this. And he said
he's the eternal battle between the scientifically curious and skeptics.
So, but why is he getting ridicule though? Because he's examining this thing.
I don't know.
Because those scientists that ridicule him and I don't want to go as far as say they've been brainwashed into thinking that that's what you do when people talk about fringe subjects. But they really have. That's what it is. It's the stigma that is tied to it.
Here's what some respected scientists have offered up as possible explanations for the hum. So if it is bullshit, actual scientists who, they've looked into this, and here's what they think. Tinnitus is one.
Oh my God. Do you know what tinnitus is?
Yeah, it's ringing in the ears. It's like
that's
an ear.
not
They're reaching. They have no idea what this could be. So obviously they're reaching. Spontaneous autoacoustic emissions. Human ears, we're creating it in our own ears. Again, it's the people. How is it that a guy goes up on his roof and records it on YouTube and then we all have the same ear condition that this guy
Tampa
does?
Bay guys, those reporters.
Everybody in that stadium had the same ear condition?
No.
Human ears generate their own noises called spontaneous autoacoustic emissions, which about 30% of people hear. The people that hear these sounds typically hear a faint buzzing or ringing, especially if they are otherwise this bullshit. That is not what we're hearing. Here's another one, colliding ocean waves. Researchers from the U.S. Array Earthscope have tracked down a series of infrasonic humming noises produced by waves crashing together and hence into the ocean floor. This off the northwest coast of the USA. Potentially, a sound from these collisions could travel to many parts of the globe. No mechanism has been suggested to explain how the hum is heard in the middle of remote landmasses, hundreds of miles away from any ocean.
So they don't know.
Mechanical devices. In the case of Kokomo, Indiana, a city with heavy industries, the origin of the hum was thought to have been traced to two sources. The first was a pair of fans in a cooling tower at the local Daimler Chrysler plant. The second was an air compressor intake at the Haynes International plant. After those devices were corrected, however, the hum still existed. So they got no answers. Nobody's got any answer here. Are we still on? Off air?
Yeah, but we're still recording.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we just got cut off the air for a second. All right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. Well, let's play a song. Yeah. We'll come back. Fantastic first segment.
All right, you like that?
Very interested in what you have next.
So what's the conclusion? We don't know. That's the conclusion.
The conclusion is
something's happening, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah. Once again, the best evidence that I have heard, the most convincing piece of evidence is certainly this one right here from a baseball game. Go ahead, play this one more time. We'll go out with this. This is unbelievable.
That's a haunting sound.
It's a televised
if we've ever heard
baseball
one.
game. Tampa Bay Devil Rays versus Detroit. First
One ball,
inning.
no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
Now, what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
It's real, folks. It's really happening. It's really going on. So now let's stop with the bullshit about, hey, it's phony, and let's try to figure out what it is. Hire a Hero presents PMS on DeepElemOnAir.com.
Shot and dragged, you made a mess. My blood slips through the cracks of floors where many more. You've made a bed, wrapped and dropped and covered up. This body's bound, this heart is found. The ground can't stop hate simmering. We're going down, the dead will rise. Rich and poor and dozen more. Our pulse waits for a beat like heels that walk across the cellar floor. A nudge, a budge, a hungry grudge we can't fulfill. We're laying still, we won't reanimate until she steps inside. The dead will rise. Their hands from the ground take you by surprise. There's blood in their eyes, fueled by the lies. Stone cold grip to rip out the ties. Just look at what you've done. I say look at what you've done. The dead will rise. Hands from the ground. There's blood in their eyes, a stone cold grip to rip through the ties. Just look what you've done. I say look what you've done. The dead will rise. I say look what you've done. The dead will rise. He's screaming loud. He's screaming loud.
Deep Ellum on air. Only the best in local music.
Do it live!
From DFW and beyond. Deep Ellum on air.
wish I could keep it. Living it out is the only way. I'm gonna fall in love, and I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna fall in love, and I'll dig deep in, right this way, right this way. Into the evening hours, into the woods and paths, with the light show shadows, I'm taking me on. I'm gonna fall in love, and I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna fall in love, and I'll dig deep in, right this way, right this way, right this way, right this way. I've got a secret. I've got a secret. I've got a secret. I've got a secret, secret, secret. I'm gonna fall in love, and I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna fall in love, and I'll dig deep in, right this way, right this way, right this way, right this way.
HighwayHero.org presents PMS, the Pugs Moran Show, heard each and every day, noonish here on DeepElemonair.com. Leslie on the Facebook page, John Puggs, says she wanted to know who that band was that we were playing a while back.
Yeah.
The band that was Something in the Wheel.
Oh, Something in the Wheel. Oh.
So I put up there that was Something in the Wheel, These Young Eyes. She said, thank you. And then, no, I like this guy. This guy gets it. This guy knows what we're trying to do here. No says, the music gets awesomer the more you hear it because you say to yourself, hey, I know that song. Repetition.
There you go.
Quality spins.
I love that dude, by the way. He's great.
He's a good attitude. I love that attitude. I'm searching for optimism, and that's the kind of optimist. Yeah, everybody else on Facebook is like, oh, I hate music I've never heard before. And he's like, hey, I like it when I hear it a couple of times.
Yeah, listen to this. You got someone in the chat box. You guys' music is so crazy it makes the stuff Pugs had to play on the Bone sound good. What does that mean?
And that's a guy who, first of all, I think the music we play is awesome. I think that we go through a lot of effort here at Deep Ellum On Air to bring you only the best and the coolest stuff. There's like this crazy mind trust of Deep Ellum music nerds and hipsters that pick all this music, of which you are one.
Yes.
By the way, you might be top hipster in charge. But no, I have no doubt that this music is credible, and I like it. And I haven't been listening to it but for the last couple of months the way you are.
Now,
I got a bunch of new favorite bands that are local.
And some of the stuff I play, I'm hearing it for the first time myself too. So, enjoy the ride with us.
Well, that completely flies against what I just said about how each song is carefully picked.
No, I mean some of the ones that the bands are carefully picked.
Yeah.
The songs.
Oh yeah.
Some
I see
are
what you're
little,
saying.
yeah, some are a little different.
All right. Let me give a quick once over to the breaking news page just before we get out of here. We got a cable guy installing cable, so I'm sure he's gonna have questions. Excuse me. Let me see here. Chris Christie said bullshit to an opponent at a New Jersey town hall meeting.
What's wrong with that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like Chris Christie. Disagree with a lot of his policies, and but I like him. He seems honest. To me, he seems to be honestly wrong in his beliefs, which I can respect.
It's like when cartoons break that, what is it called, the fourth wall or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when governors and politicians, when you see.
He's not a phony.
See him act real.
Chris
cool.
Christie's not a phony. Yeah, that's why people like him so much. Of course, the Republicans, he's the most popular Republican in the country. Nationwide polls say that unequivocally, Chris Christie, among independents, who are the really important group of people the Republicans need to get if they are ever going to win anything again, among independents, Christie is like a freaking god. But to the Republican mainstream, the power brokers, if you will, like CPAC and what have you, the Republican National Convention, all those people, they hate him. They hate him because he said, hey, you know what? Obama did right by us during the storms. They hate him for that because he wouldn't criticize absolutely everything about President Obama the way most Republicans are. He's an honest guy. He's like, hey, you know what? I disagree with the president on just about everything that he stands for, but he did well by us. And he said that a number of times. He's been chastised for it. He's been marginalized by the power brokers within the Republican Party, and he keeps on doing it because he doesn't give a shit. That's why people like Chris Christie. That's why he appeals to independents, and it's why he really appeals to someone like me. I mean, if it comes down to like next time Chris Christie versus Hillary Clinton, and I like Hillary Clinton, but she is kind of the same old, I might lean towards giving Chris Christie a shot just because he is so from out there, in left field. He's not one of these. He's a fat guy. He swears. He's like a real person who also seems to be a great leader, a guy who's not afraid to make a tough decision and speaks his mind. So I like that. Some of his policies leave me a little bit weak in the knees, but I recognize moving forward that I'm going to have to accept a whole lot of that from people that I will vote for because nobody seems to agree with absolutely everything I think. I'm all over the board. Conservative here, lefty here.
Aliens?
Yeah, what is that? I don't know. What does that fit with? Let's see. National Gay Athlete Hall of Fame has been launched in Chicago. No idea what that is about.
All right.
We don't really have many. Oh, yeah, we do. I guess we do. So who would be in the National Gay Athlete Hall of Fame? I would think right off the bat, you got like Billie Jean King and Martina Navratilova and Greg Louganis. And is this going to be a Hall of Fame that you just get into for being a pro athlete and being gay? Or do you have to be a really good gay athlete? You know what I mean? Like Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, and Greg Louganis are all world-class athletes who happen to be gay. But who else gets in there? I mean, Jason Collins isn't exactly a great basketball player. He's a pro basketball player. He's better than anybody you hang out with. But he's still not among pros. He's not really great. All right. Well, let's delve into this for a second. I'm kind of interested in this. Just as Jason Collins, a veteran NBA player, announced he is gay, a Hall of Fame for gay athletes and allies launched in Chicago. The nonprofit National Gay and Lesbian Sports Hall of Fame will accept nominees beginning this summer. Hope you enjoy women's professional basketball. Because I imagine a lot of exhibits about women's professional basketball. It is a goal to honor people and organizations that have stood up to stereotypes and embraced gay and lesbian athletes. We're not just going to honor gay athletes, but other athletes who helped those gay athletes along and provided a safe haven. What does that mean? All right, whatever.
Hey, what's that? The step up to my window. What's that song? I was trying to like play that while you were talking.
Come to my window.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's it. What is that?
It's Melissa Etheridge.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to.
You mean you knew that as a gay anthem, but didn't know it as a Melissa Etheridge song?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't think of those words because I was. Yeah.
All right. There are.
Are you done with the gay topic?
Go ahead, play your song.
Good.
I know you wanted to play your song, so I'll table my thoughts while you get your little production element in order. I mean, there are a lot gayer songs that we could play.
Because that's what I was trying to think, and then I'm like, oh.
But my old go-to gayest song of all time is Diana Ross's "I'm Coming Out."
Oh, okay.
I'm coming out. That's pretty gay.
About It's Raining Men.
Ugh, very gay. Very, very gay. Yeah, you went Melissa Etheridge. You went like lesbian gay. You didn't go like, Jack from Will and Grace gay. You went lesbian gay. That's interesting. Yeah. Little Katie Lang, maybe. Or who else would be a lesbian gay? Let's see here. Football is. By the way, this is interesting. There's a rumor going around that David Stern, the NBA commissioner, has put an edict out that says Jason Collins must be on an NBA team next year. And this is very interesting because David Stern, the very hands-on commissioner of the NBA, does not want people to say, oh, sure, he comes out, and then the next year no team will play him or no team will sign him. So David Stern is like supposedly taking an interest in somebody, somewhere, having the recently out-of-the-closet Jason Collins be on their team next year. And there are also those who are saying that's why Jason Collins is smart. He's an articulate Stanford grad. He knew that he probably wouldn't be picked up for his 7th team in 7 years. And so he comes out, he says he's gay. He plays the odds that someone will be forced to pick him up so that they won't get criticized for being anti-gay. Imagine that. I mean, imagine the people what they could say. Oh, sure, he played the last 12 years in the NBA, but somehow the season after he admits he's gay, no one will touch him. So David Stern is said to be a little bit concerned about that. So, personally, I think Jason Collins might have had this. Why not extend your career by 1 year? Because this is important too. It is important to me that this guy plays on a team next year. It is important to me that we see how people react. It is important to me to see how the NBA reacts to how people react. People are going to call him faggot and homo. I mean, he plays in front of thousands of drunk people, paying $5 a beer, $7 a beer. I haven't been to a game in a while. $7.50 a beer.
Yeah, it's awful.
They're going to get their hooliganism in. So, I mean, it's important to say this is going to be. He has to play on a team now. I think it's awesome. I don't care. What about some guy that didn't make the team? Because shut up. He's a 12-year NBA vet. He made the team for 12 years. He can obviously play. It's kind of important socially, I think, to see this little experiment play out. Let's see how he's treated in the locker rooms. Good for him. The NHL is supposed to be the league that is most ready for the acceptance of a gay player. That's weird. Do you know any hockey players?
No.
Hockey players are like aliens. You want to talk about aliens? Most hockey players, most guys that you run into who play professional hockey are like aliens because they're Canadian hillbillies. Do you know what Canadian hillbillies are? Oh, Christ, Joe. Oh, yeah, Oh, we're going to go out on the pond and we're going to play. Hey, get the moose off the pond. I'm trying to play hockey, yo. And they're like really normal. Not normal. No, not normal. They're like just really sort of like decent, kind, simple. Don't ask for a lot. And this is the typical Canadian born and bred NHL player. I totally see hockey being cool with. Oh yeah, geez, I hear you. I hear you're gay. Come on over here, sit next to me on a bench. So what do? Do you pitch or do you receive? Huh? Eh? I mean, that's how I see him being. Totally non-judgmental. Oh Christ! Come on, faggy. Calling him names like that, but not meaning anything by it. Just being,
Faggy.
Come on, faggy. Oh, hey, let's get him some pink skates, eh? Oh, come on, I'm just kidding. Come on, I'm kidding. I love you. As long as you keep up those goal scoring, you're a good teammate. Now, the NBA, there's a lot of Christian, Jesus, black, American, Southern. I don't want no gay in my locker. And that's the NBA is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
The Canadians are very, oh, Christ, yeah, whatever, Dateline Toronto. I'll do the whole story like this. What do you say? Reading it like a player. The National Hockey League, or the league, has been preparing for years for the first gay player to come out in public. And that groundwork may be about to pay off after the NBA's Jason Collins opened the door to a new era. Collins, a veteran basketball player, stepped into the national spotlight on Monday when he became the first male athlete in a major U.S. professional league to publicly reveal he's gay. Oh, geez. He sure did. God love him. The deputy commissioner of the NHL, composed of U.S. and Canadian teams, said he was not personally aware of any gay players in the league, but made it clear the NHL is treating any coming out as a high priority. I totally see the NHL being cool with this, just because, honestly, I mean, I have been, lucky. It's been cool in 2 different major cities to work at radio stations that had the hockey teams. So I got to hang around with a lot of Blackhawks back in the day in the 90s, and got to know, just through other associations, a number of Stars players over the years here. They are the nicest people. They are just, they drink and they get real rowdy when they get drunk and they like to fight and stuff like that, but they're good people. They're unaffected by their stardom to a lesser degree than NFL players are, Major League Baseball players are. Does that make sense to you? Like, hockey players don't walk around like an NBA player.
Yeah, they
Hockey
can
players
go
are
out in
just
public because people don't know who they are.
Well, exactly. And if they get recognized, they pose for every picture. And, I mean, they're just like good people. They're like NASCAR dudes. NASCAR dudes are awesome like that, too. MMA guys are also awesome like that. It's because they don't have the massive pay. Well, NHL players make good money. As far back as 2005, the NHL and NHL Players Association included Article 7.2 in their collective bargaining agreement that says member clubs cannot discriminate against a player because of his sexual orientation. Oh, geez, I remember that one, eh? More recently, the NHL and NHL Players Association entered into a formal partnership with You Can Play Project, and I've seen those those during NHL commercials. Or during NHL games, they have all of these commercials with NHL players saying, don't bully gay kids. They've been doing that for a while. All right, yep, that's going to do it. I'm out. I'm out of everything to talk about here. So let's just... And
Canadians' national anthem sucks, by the way.
Oh, Canada? Why does it suck?
I was trying to
Never
play
really
it
thought about it.
while you were doing the whole, Canadian accent thing, thinking that it would be recognizable. Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
God shed its grace on thee. That's all I know.
Not so much. Hey, but by the way, we got a request
What, ours
for...
is better? Do you know that our national anthem is like the worst song ever written? One of the most difficult things to sing?
Yeah, but if I was to play the instrumental, anyone listening would know what it is. Just now...
Because we're in America.
Yeah, but just now, if I tried to play it a second ago, people would be like, what the hell is he playing right now?
You don't think the Canadian national anthem is recognizable?
No, listen.
Oh, it absolutely is.
It's not.
It absolutely is. I bet you 9 out of 10 Americans... Oh, jeez, I shouldn't have said that. God shed its grace on thee. Oh, Canada.
I don't think people would have got it.
Pork and beans. I don't know how to song. I don't know the words.
I don't think they'd have been like, what is he playing? I don't think they'd have got it.
Come on.
I'm telling you.
Canada. You've never watched a hockey game where the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing the Detroit Red Wings?
No, I haven't.
You have to sit through both answers.
I don't watch sports. You think I'm going to start with hockey?
Oh, well, there you go. Well, no,
Jesus.
okay, hey, anytime the Toronto Raptors come and play in Dallas, they play the Canadian national anthem for them. Just as they play the American national anthem for, before every game. If there's a Canadian team, they'll play it for them as well.
Okay.
I don't get that. What's that about? What kind of weird nationalistic Ziga is that? It's like sports. Why aren't we doing that? I understand it in the Olympics because that's what the Olympics is about. The Olympics are all about national pride, and that's a good thing. That's where it fits, and that's the place for it. But when you got a basketball team where half of your players are from Europe and the other half are from Africa, and, what are we doing here? What are we playing the national anthem for? Start playing all the Zimbabwe national anthem, the Chechenian national anthem.
This is it.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Home and native land.
You think we'll get copyright infringement playing this?
Yeah, get rid of it. Screw them. Nothing but a poor, frigid example of American overflow.
No, they got Mad Child.
What's Mad Child?
He's their Die Antwoord.
Okay, we don't need to learn about Fairchild.
Mad Child.
Mad Child.
Mad Child. Hey, by the way, speaking of copywritten music, we got a request for Rob's song, so I'm gonna play it.
Oh, we can play Rob's song?
Well, sure.
Well, good. The from the forthcoming hireahero.org project.
We do what we want.
They're letting us do that now. All right, let's see here. What else do we want to mention? Is there anything else going on? Let me just quickly roll through here. You know what's a good one to touch on before we get out of here? Oh my God! Well, we started late, but we still need to get out of here. Let me take a quick glance over at TMZ, see if anybody's done anything stupid. Lindsay's back in rehab. All right. Who cares? Any DUIs? Jason Collins, Twitter death threats. All right, he's getting death threats. Of course he is, because Paris Hilton has apparently made a truce with somebody. Lil Wayne, is he still famous?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because he was like massively huge like 5 years ago.
No, he still is. Well, as far as I know, because
what's his deal? Isn't he dying? Well, has he got all kinds of health problems? And
yeah, I don't know. The only reason why I say yes, he's famous, because whenever we do Cheaters Bust, we're sitting in the van waiting for a long time, and they'll have the radio on a hip hop channel, and I swear to Christ, it's like every other song is Lil Wayne and Drake. and then they repeat it like in a matter of 3 hours. You will have heard a song twice. It's weird.
I don't know anything about Lil Wayne other than he's extremely successful. That's all I know. And by the way, he also is sick. That's what the story's about.
Okay.
He's back in the hospital again. Lil Wayne was hospitalized again for a seizure. Sources close to Wayne tell us the rapper was taken to Cedars-Sinai in L.A. late Tuesday night by his bodyguards. We're told he suffered a single seizure and was treated and released early this morning. As we first reported, 30-year-old Lil Wayne spent a week at Cedars-Sinai back in March after suffering multiple severe seizures that nearly killed him.
They said he was drinking too much lean.
What is lean?
Lean is hydrocodone.
I thought that was purple stuff.
That's what it is, purple.
Oh, there's a bunch of different
Yeah, it's all kinds of
names.
Drink, perp.
Explain to me what that is. Now, this is something that the hip-hop community sips on. I've been offered it. I'm like, no, thanks.
I've tried
Well, I love hydrocodone, but I love it in a spoonful when I'm on the couch with a cold watching TV.
Well,
that's when I love it. I don't want to be in a club.
No, you're on hydrocodone. This is codeine. There's two different ones.
Whatever. I mean, I know what the effect is. The cough syrup that they have.
No, it's.
All right, I'm wrong. Tell me, because I'm interested.
It's not like that.
Maybe we'll whip some up tonight. How hard is it to...
You gotta have a prescription. But you just go get your prescription. That's all it is. But it tastes real sweet. It's very sweet tasting. It's almost like liquid candy.
Did you cut it with something? I don't like sweet drinks.
You just drink it.
I like whiskey and beer.
People they'll mix it with Sprite or whatever. But honestly, you can just sip on it.
Can I just say, this is another one. We have our little race conversation. Black people can't drink. Black people do not know how to drink. They do not know how to. They don't. They drink like the worst stuff. It's all sweet. It's all sugary.
Yeah, hypnotic.
It's fucking disgusting.
Did you ever try that?
Hey, that's the gross. That shit is gross. Brandy is gross. It's really sweet. You can't drink that. No, I have many black friends in my life. I've never known a black friend to do a shot of whiskey with me. They won't go near it. They're afraid of it. And all their men, masculine black men drink the fruitiest fucking drinks, man. They do. They really do.
All right.
You either agree or you disagree.
Well, I mean, no, I disagree. Well, at least Dark Side. I'm thinking of Dark Side. Man, Pew would drink a whole bottle of whiskey if you put it in front of him.
All right. Well, there's an exception. I have not, and I've known I grew up on the south side of Chicago, for crying out loud. I have I've been to many house parties in my day.
But I mean, you are right though. They
drink terrible stuff.
Incredible Hulk. Did you ever try that? That was awful.
No, like MD,
it was
Mad Dog,
Hypnotic and Hennessy.
Mad Dog, Boone's Farm, all those really gross, horrible things that make you so fucking sick. They make you so sick. So how is that even
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. How is that remotely enjoyable?
That's a black guy drink.
Black guy drink, yeah, absolutely. What's another black guy drink? Or how do you make the purple drink?
Well, purple drink is all really. It just depends. You can drink it straight, and you're just sipping on it. You drink about an ounce of it.
Don't you mix it? I've heard people mixing it with like grape juice, cherry juice, all kinds of weird stuff.
You would mix it with like Sprite or whatever, and that's
something that would make it less sweet.
Yeah, some kind of carbonated.
That's disgusting. Ugh. Black guys smoke good weed though. Got to give them that.
Oh yeah,
they smoke good weed. But they can't drink for shit. They drink like the worst stuff. All right, so Lil Wayne looks like he's going to be okay. He's back out.
So is it the lean again? Is he sipping too much scissor?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't go into that. Does not go into that. Miley Cyrus is looking all hot. Look at this. See, this I was telling you about yesterday. Look, she is looking so cute. And by the way, she's a fully grown adult woman. Look at that. That's why you don't say you're hot for Hannah Montana. You say you're hot for Miley Cyrus. Hannah Montana suggests that you're hot for a 15-year-old girl from 10 years ago or whatever. Now, I think she's looking good. I'm kind of digging on her. Can't wait to see what... I think Miley Cyrus is so cute that I'm even attracted to the girl on Saturday Night Live that plays her. That's how cute I think Miley Cyrus is. Oh, look at this. The Full House girls are all grown up. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these two looking good. Look at the Full House chicks. Look at DJ. They're looking good.
Yeah.
They're looking good. They look better than the Olsen twins, who I think look like little elves, little emaciated. What is that disease where you vomit everything? What is that called?
Oh, bulimia.
Bulimia. Yeah, I think they have that. They look bad. They look sick. Get all their protein from cigarettes.
I was hoping you'd stick with the Miley Cyrus talk a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you got?
Because you remember when she like smoked a bunch of weed or something on video?
Yeah.
And I just had a bunch of like laughs.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah. I used to play that a lot.
She's good. Look, I'm not saying she's talented. I'm saying she's attractive. That's all. I'm saying she has grown into a really hot young chick. She's like. Is that her?
Yeah.
That could get irritating. Well, undoubtedly she's irritating.
What?
Yeah, you're irritating.
What?
What? Don't stop it. You're being irritating now. Exactly. All right, let's do an end of the show.
Okay.
Let's close it.
But hey, remember we're closing out with aisle 6 after we close out.
Oh yeah, we'll play that.
Rob.
As a matter of fact, just kill this. Why don't you just play? We'll talk it up. All right.
Okay.
Oh, we got to get our cuts in for Stratos, clubstratos.com. Fantastic Greek and Mediterranean food. Proud sponsor of the show. We thank them so much for their involvement. Also, planning a big event there. We'll get to planning that at some point. We'll keep telling you about it. Clubstratos.com on the internet if that's where you want to learn more about them. They have all kinds of cool stuff. It's a great place for a date. It ain't Applebee's, folks. They got all kinds of shows going on. They got people. Some nights they have belly dancers. Some nights they have music. It's a really terrific place, and I think it's one of the best places for first dates. The food is out of this world. If you like Greek food, if you like Mediterranean food, you cannot do any better than what Stratos is offering there. Again, conveniently located right there in the middle of the Dallas area at Webb Chapel and Northwest Highway. That's Northwest Highway and Webb Chapel, and check them out online at clubstratos.com. And what about the other place?
Oh, the Glass Pipe.
The Glass Pipe. No, the Glass House.
The Glass House. God. Is there a place called there is a place
Yeah, I think there is. I think it's like their main
Damn
competition.
You're right. It is. Love those guys at the Glass House. Glass House TX.
2 locations here in the North Texas area for your convenience. One right here in Dallas, the other up there at Louisville. Check them out online. And don't forget, free discounts.
15 to 25% off.
15 to 25% off.
Us.
If you mention Deep Ellum on air or PMS, right there at the Glass House. 2 locations, Louisville and Dallas. Check them out online, glasshousetx.com.
That's it.
Go ahead. I can talk a bitch up. Let's go. You done? You play the song? All right. We're out of here.
I looked up and she was there. She started to smile. I did not stare. Then I went left and she went right. Now we're standing eye to eye. We did it again, the opposite way. We started to laugh and then went on our way. We both looked back as if to say, thanks for the dancing, how sick that day. Saw her again in aisle 10. Now it feels like we're almost friends. She said hi, I said hello. This awkwardness, I don't know. Where were you 10 years ago? Would I have nerve on my seagull? I grabbed my milk, went on my way. Thanks for the smile you gave me that day. Saw her again in Jackson 3. Who would have thought she'd been next to me? We did it again, the opposite.